Welcome into Zions Bank Stadium for playoff soccer here in the USL Championship. It's the Monarchs against El Paso Locomotive. David Horsheim, Landon Southwick, thanks for tuning in on this fine Saturday afternoon. Western Conference Finals here at Zions Bank Stadium, and both teams are flying high.
Man, games don't get much bigger than this. Even up here in the box, I am ready to go. I am so excited for this game. You got the 4 and the 6 seed today, and these teams have done so well in the playoffs, so I'm so excited to see what they bring to the field today.
Both teams have been super consistent throughout the season, especially against each other. 0-0 draws both times these two sides matched up, but in the playoffs, both teams have come out firing. Monarchs have scored 8 goals, while El Paso Locomotive has scored 6 goals on the season in 2 convincing wins. So both sides have a legitimate argument to who could be the better side coming into this game. But no doubt about it, they're both playing really well.
Yeah, and both teams have played really well in the playoffs, but if you go back beyond the playoffs, the Monarchs have really carried that momentum through the end of the season, whereas El Paso, they didn't have quite a strong finish to their season, even though they've done well in the playoffs. So can the Monarchs keep that momentum going through this game?
And with both games being defensively minded games in the past two, we expect a little more offensive today. But let's check out the playoff picture and how it looks in the Western Conference and what's remaining for this side. As you can see how both teams got to this point. Monarchs, courtesy of games against Orange County, a win, and a win in Phoenix. El Paso taking down Fresno, the 3 seed, and Sacramento. As we're going to toss it to our first break, and we'll be back with first half lineups next. Tonight's match is brought to you by Zions Bank, for banking that always puts the best team on the pitch. Zions Bank is for you. By LifeVantage. Learn how you can take control of your own biology at lifevantage.com. Back back live at Zions Bank Stadium here in Harriman, Utah. Let's check out the visitor starting lineup, El Paso Locomotive.
And what a dynamic attack this team has. Key Sweater leading the team in goals scored this year with 12, but you can't count Gomez and Velasquez out. Velasquez in 15 games this year already has 5 goals, and Gomez, who has 8 goals in the regular season, has scored in every playoff game. So this is an attack that can score at will. So the Monarchs back 5. This is going to be a great test for them today.
And obviously we've seen Ketterer having himself a playoff in the last game, had some huge saves against Sacramento Republic. Now let's check out the home side and the Real Monarchs.
And of course, you always have Douglas Martinez up top for this team, he has 17 goals on the year despite missing quite a few games to international call-ups and first-team call-ups. So can Douglas step up in the moment today and carry this team on his back? And then you have old trusty Michael Chang, 15 goals, 8 assists on the season. Can the two of them power this Monarchs attack today?
Let's check out the refs for tonight and the match. Rosendo Mendoza is our center referee. Tom Feliz, Diego Blas, Elton Garcia is our 4th official tonight. Mendoza has ref 15 games in the USL Championship this season. 49 yellows, 3 reds, and 6 PKs. Monarchs are going to be wearing their all blue kits. Cobalt kits tonight. El Paso in their whites with blue trim and white socks. Monarchs going to be moving from right to left or north to south here in Harriman as we are underway here in this Western Conference final. Caden the Ryden over to Plua. Monarchs playing with that now traditional, what they've done is those 3 center backs and the 2 wing backs.
And with those 3 center backs, it's going to be a great test for them tonight when you have very dynamic players for El Paso and Key Sweater, Gomez, Salgado, Velasquez. That's an unbelievable attack. So how is that back 3 going to hold up to that tonight?
Ball trying to go up over top. Chang will chase it down, but Ketterer is there, coming off his line to collect. Ball played out wide. Kiesewetter gets the touch. He'll play it back to Fox. Fox has slid into that center back role after an injury by Jerome and done nicely. And I talked to Mark Lowry before the game, and he's been very impressed and has loved the play of Fox so far.
And Fox has done great back there, but he is not a traditional center back. So can the Monarchs throughout this game, can they take advantage of that and put him in awkward situations where a normal center back would be able to handle it, but Fox is not. So can the Monarchs take advantage of that?
Velasquez gets it to Becky. Becky going into Sebastian Velasquez. Heavy touch. Ball gets away from him. Monarchs are going to try to counter. Ball in. Douglas Martinez just on top of the area, but Ketterer is there to collect. And that was a good-looking attack, promising from the Monarchs to start things off here in the 2nd minute of play. Did you get a replay look at that? Just out in front of Douglas Martinez. Ball coming up over top. Chase down on the wing. Holt goes to ground, plays it out as Gomez was trying to get around him. Throw in El Paso. Quickly thrown into Kiffy. Kiffy can serve the ball nicely. Tries to go in. Holt's there. Uses his big body and wins the ball for the Monarchs. Ryden. Maybe one too many touches there, but gets away from it from Salgado. And the Monarchs try to go forward. Tate's pushed from behind, and there will be a foul called to Salgado as he pleads his case. But nonetheless, had enough of Tate Schmidt to slow down the play.
And that is one of the things I love about this formation. As you can tell there, that is a foul on Salgado, but the wingbacks can get into that attack, and it's going to force Salgado and Gomez to have to come back on defense because the El Paso back 4 is going to be worrying about Chang and Martinez. So Salgado and Gomez are going to have to make a choice, Landon. Do they want to come back and play defense, or do they want to stay forward and just join the attack today?
Monarchs trying to apply press. Ross with it. Scotsman, Salgado. Plays it back to Becky. James Moberg is the only change from this Monarch side from a week ago. El Paso trotting out the exact same lineup as they had against Sacramento, with James Moberg replacing Noah Powder in the starting 11 tonight. 4th minute of play. Still scoreless as the crowd is still filling in here at Zions Bank Stadium. A nice crowd on hands. Got some supporters groups banging the drums, providing some noise. Jack Blake able to dispossess El Paso. He'll go forward. He's taken out. Heavy touch there by Yuma. And Yuma's got to be careful early on in those challenges as he's frustrated standing over Jack Blake.
But I believe that the referee understands the situation of this game. He's going to allow Yuma, he's going to allow guys such as Yuma right there, leave a leg in early on in this game. He's going to keep control of the game, but he's not going to give out those cards because cards can really change a game, and you don't want to do that here in the 5th minute of the game.
Yuma sitting as the defensive mid, sitting on a yellow from the 4th. If he was sitting on a yellow from the 4th minute, would be a tough challenge for him. Monarchs with the free kick coming. Portillo will stand over it. Line will be held just on top of the 18 for El Paso. Portillo swings it in, headed away by Yuma. Monarchs going to try to get another opportunity at it. Schmidt. He's going to play the ball wide, trying to find Moberg. Can he keep it in? He does. Plays the cross in, takes a heavy deflection, and Ketterer comes off his line and collects. And Toko to Becky. He'll pick up his head, trying to go up over top to Salgado. Ryden and Salgado gonna chase. Salgado gets there first. Former #1 draft pick in the MLS draft. Plays the ball inside the box. Ball still in the area. Gomez goes down. Monarchs did a nice job defending him. But a good opportunity as Gomez almost found himself in a sneaky situation. Chang gonna apply pressure. Ketter off his line. Quickly thrown into Jack Blake. Monarchs want to move quick. Jack Blake can't get it back to Michael Chang. Possession loss for the Monarchs.
Yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. Patience,
Those crosses are going to be very dangerous if those wingbacks fall asleep, such as James Moberg did there. He didn't know that Gomez was on his back, and Gomez almost snuck in behind him there. He has to be aware of those guys on the back sides.
And Toko to Becky. El Paso, one of the best teams at keeping possession in the USL Championship. Ball out wide. Ochoa gonna come off his line, and he'll let it roll smartly for a goal kick. Check out the head coach for El Paso, Mark Lowry, in his first season, as this is an expansion side, former coach of Jacksonville Armada, and had some very successful time with them and coached many of the players on this field, including Kalen Ryden and Jack Blake. 7th minute of play. Zions Bank Stadium, Harriman, Utah, on this beautiful and fairly warm Saturday afternoon. Highs up around 60 degrees. It's not the typical here in Utah, but a beautiful day for soccer. Mulholland, he picks up his head, trying to get it to Schmidt. Heavy touch there. Mulholland's there to apply some pressure and win it back for the Monarchs. The idea was right, but a heavy ball played wide to Schmidt. Plua to Ryden. The midfield strike. He'll pick up his head. Finds Portillo. And the Monarchs are keeping a lion's share of the possession so far, something that El Paso would like to do, especially here at the altitude. They do not want to be chasing for long periods of time.
And one thing you're seeing right now is that El Paso is giving the 3 center backs of the Monarchs a lot of time on the ball. They are sitting back and jumbling up the middle so that they cannot play through the middle of the field right now. They're absolutely fine if the center backs have the ball. In fact, they want the center backs to try and beat them.
Holtz, one of those rookies for the Monarchs.
Yeah, move it again, You got space.
Holt and Schmidt, as Plua is going to take his space. Plays it to Ryden. And like you're saying, they're keeping those clean lines so far from El Paso, trying to force the Monarchs into decisions, and a heavy ball there.
And right there is what El Paso wants to happen. They want the center backs to try and squeeze those balls in areas they don't want to, and then a mistake happens, ball goes out. Now it's El Paso's ball. All they have to do is be patient defensively and force those center backs to beat them.
Interim head coach Jamison Alave there. As he's had and done a solid job for this Monarch side as he's been in charge. His second stint as interim head coach for the Monarchs. Former MLS All-Star. Michael Chang trying to go forward. Tries to get around Kiffy. Yuma's there as well. Moberg applies pressure. And El Paso is able to deal with it. Sharon Toko. And Toko will pick up his head, trying to find Seba. Inside, the giveaway there by Sebastian Velasquez. Martinez did not know Sebastian Velasquez was there, and an opportunity maybe wasted. Numbers forward, Gomez into Salgado, and Ochoa standing at the top of his line, and a good idea there as we saw a perfect counterattack brewing from El Paso.
That was, first of all, that was a great read from David Ochoa to see this through ball. Just a little too heavy to Salgado, but the young goaltender does a great job to come out, read that pass, and get to it before Salgado.
Martinez gets the ball out wide. Attack building, ball played inside the box, no one home. Becky does a nice job to get it back to Ketterer with his chest, and give him credit for knowing that there was not a player close in his vicinity that he could play it back quickly to Ketterer. Logan Ketterer, 35 appearances, including tonight, 13 clean sheets, 4th in the USL Championship, 77 saves and 4 PKs saved. That's one of those numbers we'll have to keep an eye on if this one goes late. Holt. Touch, Kiffy was on his back, or excuse me, Gomez was on his back, and it'll be played out. It'll be a throw-in for El Paso. Monarchs 11-2-4 at home, 24-5-6 since April 30th, and a plus 46 goal differential. Ryden plays a heavy ball. He'll knock it out of play. It'll be a throw-in for El Paso. Ball on the fields. The 2020 season for the Utah Royals, RSL, and the Monarchs is just around the corner. Visit rsl.com or call 844-REAL6 to get your season tickets for the RSL family today. Game slows down for a sec as we wait to get this ball in. Moberg. He'll play it forward. He's gonna try to find Martinez, and Ketterer has done a nice job keeping an eye on things and coming off his line so far tonight.
And one of the things you have seen so far is that every through ball has been a little heavy tonight. Both teams have had really good chances, but it's that final ball right now that has let both teams down. If they can clean that up a little bit, you're going to get a little bit better goal scoring opportunities.
Both keepers have done a nice job coming off their lines, though. We've seen both keepers so far come off and play maybe a little bit of a sweeper keeper.
And really, that's what you want to see from them in this game. They're tuned in, they're ready to go, they're ready for those through balls, and that bodes well for both these sides.
Piece of weather.
Good. Same pivot. Good. Little bit.
It's going to be swung along the back line of El Paso. Becky's going to get it here on the near side. Tries to find Salgado. Into Ross. Into Seba. Nice little ball there. This is where he gets dangerous. Velasquez. Forward ball's played out wide. And Salgado was in an offside position and knew it.
And that's one of those things that Velasquez does very well, is he finds those little pockets of space, he receives the ball, but unlike most players that receive the ball and will play the ball back, he's always able to turn and then push the ball forward. And as you saw right there, if Salgado wasn't offsides, that would have been a very good opportunity for El Paso.
Especially with Tate Schmidt sitting in a higher spot and Salgado all by himself, forcing Kalen Ryden to step out. 13th minute of play, still scoreless. Portillo Foul called. Nick Ross will be called for the foul on Luke Mulholland. Ball quickly played. Schmidt settles wide. He's got 2 defending him. He'll play it back to Ryden. El Paso 5, 6, and 6 on the road here in 2019.
And once again, El Paso, they're sitting back off those center backs, and they're baiting Kalen Ryden to play those balls in. Kalen Ryden can play those balls in, but it's going to be very hard for him tonight to try to squeeze it into those tight spaces.
Fox. Then Toko. Wide to Becky. Mulholland checks to him. Ross tries to play it through. The Monarchs are closing down those lines pretty quick. El Paso having trouble finding their 2 essentially target players up top.
And it's almost the opposite of what El Paso is doing defensively. El Paso's, they're sitting back, making the midfield tight, whereas the Monarchs, they're stepping out. They're putting that pressure on. And you've seen it a few times close to the 18 for El Paso, where the Monarchs have gotten pressure on the ball and gotten chances from it.
Yuma, second foul on Jack Blake, and I think he's going to get his final warning here in the 15th minute of play. He came across Jack Blake. Jack Blake arguing and wondering why there was no card in that situation.
And obviously, El Paso has come out. They want to interrupt Jack Blake's play today. He's the guy that makes things go in that midfield. So El Paso is going to do everything they can to interrupt that rhythm that Jack Blake gets into. Jack cannot show frustration if he gets fouled a lot today, because then that lets El Paso know that they're in his head.
One of the things Mark Lowry said to me in the pregame was that was a necessity. Close down Jack Blake. Do not give him opportunities to pull the strings for the Monarchs. Jack Blake, 2 goals here in the playoffs. 3 goals for the Monarchs in the playoffs. 2 against Orange County, 1 to level things down in Phoenix. Ryden to Holtz. Wide to Moberg, the University of Washington product. Mulholland trying to find Portillo. Not the ball he wanted to play in, as Gomez is able to keep possession, plays it back to Kiffey.
At some point in this game, those center backs, they're going to have to drive forward with the ball and force an El Paso player to commit to them in order to open up space, because right now there is no space to play into, and every time the Monarchs do, they lose the ball.
Yuma to Ntoko. Yuma struggling there to make things happen. It's going to play wide. Kiffey's going to try to keep it in, and does. Monarchs going to apply some pressure in the corner. Forward, cut off by Portillo. He's done a good job so far in that defensive mid-roll, cutting off any opportunities that El Paso have had.
He's actually done a really good job of neutralizing Velasquez so far. Velasquez has only found those pockets a little bit. He's not able to get the ball directly into his feet, and that's because of the job that Portillo is doing on him right now.
And as Sebastian Velasquez gets going, so will El Paso. He's traditionally been one of those guys that can pull strings and make things happen out of nothing sometimes, and Monarchs fans know that all too well.
And we talk about the way Jack Blake, he controls the rhythm of the Monarchs. Sebastian Velasquez does the same thing for El Paso. That's why Justin Portillo is so important tonight. He has to neutralize Sebastian Velasquez.
Possession pretty even so far. I don't even think he got a touch there. The foul called. Becky will restart quickly. Ball's going to be swung along the back line. Kiesewetter. Heavy touch, puts his team in an awkward position. Jack Blake. Conrad Plua. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world since 1947. Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. The latest Select products and special offers, visit selectsportamerica.com. Kiesewetter. To thank all of those of you fans tuning in today, wherever you may be, around the country listening into this Western Conference Championship. Being broadcast today on ESPN Plus, nationally and locally here on KMYU in the Salt Lake Valley. Fox and Toko. Becky in forward to Gomez. Plua stepped with him and the ball will be pushed out wide to Moberg. Monarchs elect to slow things up, and that's something we've seen. The Monarchs are pretty content keeping possession through their back line. Jack Blake heads it back to Chang. Yuma on his back. Back to Moberg. Monarchs, nice little combination. Moberg sends it in, cleared away by El Paso, and it'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs.
And Landon, it's all well and good for the Monarchs back line to keep possession of the ball, but to be successful, I don't think you want your center backs having the most touches on the ball in the game.
Monarchs have found some success here in the last few weeks with the center backs keeping a fair share of possession, but not something you normally see from sides where the center backs are getting the most touches on the ball in a game. Ryden finds Holt. It'll go wide to Moberg. Nice little stutter step, gets away from the first defender, gets it wide. Monarch's gonna try to go into the attack. Ball played inside the box. And then Toko does a nice job to neutralize the threats as he nudged Martinez nicely off the ball. And it goes into the waiting arms of Ketterer.
As you see in the replay here, and Toko, he doesn't really have to do much. He just has to be strong and does not allow Martinez to get into that space, and that's great work from the center back.
And Toko. Service cut off by Luke Mulholland as Salgado was making a run forward. Becky will have to throw in. A few feet in front of his own bench. Plua steps forward to cut off that ball. Settled nicely by Tate Schmidt. He's gonna play it forward, trying to find Martinez. And then Toko plays it back to Ketterer. Ketterer able to deal with it. Schmidt goes forward. Tate Schmidt will see yellow for his challenge from behind. He got a little out of control there and took down Kiesewetter, and he'll see yellow here in the 22nd minute of play.
The young wingback brings the ball down and just takes that heavy touch, but I love that he goes after that ball, but he was just a little overzealous there with the tackle, and now, you know, he's got another 70 minutes. He's gonna have to be aware of the tackles that he puts in, how hard he plays now. So can the young lad, can he keep his head for the next 70 minutes now?
And that's gonna be one of those challenges as we've seen the first yellow card shown tonight. Monarchs with 82 yellows on the season up to today. Make that 83 after Tate Schmidt sees yellow in the 22nd. Yuma. Elect to keep possession. And Toko. Velasquez dancing around, keeps possession, fouled from behind by Portillo. And old friends giving a little fire to each other.
And that's a foul, but I think that's fine from Justin Portillo because you gotta let Sebastian Velasquez know it's gonna be a hard night in here. You're gonna have to earn everything you get. And you know, that foul right there from Justin Portillo, I'm all right with that.
Fans, the USL is proud to unveil its elite youth platform, the USL Academy. This new pre-professional tier will allow clubs at all levels across the USL to build a pathway to pro. Soccer for its local youth talent clubs now have the opportunity to bring together top local talent to compete in the USL Academy Cup with the first national event set for May 2020. For more information, visit USL-Academy or USL-Academy.com or search hashtag USL Academy on social media. Ball played wide. Kiffy settles into Gomez. Finding Yuma. Yuma's gonna take his space. Jack Blake there to cut it off, and the Monarchs will dump it high and long. to try to clear lines. Fox. Becky, back into Ross, as he'll get it right back. Chang stalks him closely. Making it difficult to provide service forward. Fox gonna look for the long ball. Up over the head of Holt. Kiesewetter settles. 12 goals on the season. Plua keeps it in front of him. Velasquez ball behind. Sliding is Mulholland. Martinez finds Chang. Out wide to Mulholland. Mulholland, he plays it into the box, cut off by Nantoko, but the back post run of Schmidt was wide open for a few moments.
And that commitment to make that run from Tate Schmidt is what wins you games. You gotta have that conviction as a player to make those runs forward and then get back. So I love the energy from the young player.
Throw in for the Monarchs. Moberg. He'll play it back to Holt. Monarchs gonna recycle along their back line. 52-48 possession in favor of the Monarchs so far. Moberg into Chang. He tries to leave, thinking Jack Blake's behind him, but he was not there. Holt holds it in. Finds Jack Blake, back to Mulholland. Mulholland, top of the area, shot just over the bar. And an opportunity for the Monarchs here in the 25th minute as Luke Mulholland puts it open over the crossbar.
And as you see in the replay here, Luke Mulholland gets himself in a great spot top of the box. But it's on that left foot of his. We saw him a few weeks ago on the opposite side of the box where he had a great little right-footed toe poke. But the El Paso, they cannot give Luke Mulholland that much time at the top of the box because he, most of the time, is going to finish those.
Becky, he'll pick up his head. Seba's in front of him. Portillo checks across. Portillo knew that he had to foul him to not let Sebastian Velasquez move forward. He's been tight on him all game, former teammates.
And they're former teammates. There's no animosity there. They know it's going to be a hard-fought game. So Justin Portillo making it hard on Sebastian Velasquez, which is what you have to do with a player like that.
Becky plays it to Fox. Just as a reminder, the last two times these two sides faced each other, 0-0 draws. First one in March on the 16th, second game of the season, and then in July, like I mentioned, both 0-0 draws, but a lot of shots from El Paso in both games. First game, the Monarchs were down. Kalen Ryden took a red card, in the 32nd minutes. So you see a back heel there. Velasquez. Ross is with him. Velasquez picks up his head. Ball is not the best ball. Puts it right into Jack Blake. Chang's gonna chase down Nantoko. We'll play it back to Ketterer. Ketterer had a big mistake in El Paso's first playoff game, taking one right back and playing it right into the waiting arms of Fresno, who put it in the back of the net. Martinez, 1v1 with Fox. Ball pushes him slightly wide. Moberg going overlap on him. Out wide. Moberg inside, in the box. Becky heads it away. And a big hit there from Jack Blake as he tried to take that on the one-time volley.
Well, that's much better from the Monarchs. And that all starts with the great work from Douglas Martinez, who he gets the ball, realizes he doesn't have the numbers in the attack, so he pulls the ball wide, he keeps possession, and allows his teammates to join him in the attack. When the Monarchs are down numbers like that, they need to do more of that. Keep possession and allow the other numbers to join them.
Salgado goes down, looking for the foul. Gets the ball to Velasquez. 28th minute of play in Indiana. Indianapolis, as Indy 11 and Louisville City are still scoreless. As the Eastern Conference final is going on simultaneously with this game. Salgado finds it. He takes a crack! And that one was on frame. Ochoa with a big save, puts it up and over the bar. And a good look there from the former #1 draft pick in the MLS.
And Ochoa, who really hasn't been tested much tonight, but he's tuned in, ready to go. Makes a fantastic save on the first real opportunity for El Paso.
First corner of the night coming for El Paso. As Kiffey's gonna step out to take it. James Kiffey, former USL champion with Sacramento Republic. He's also on the team that knocked out the Monarchs in 2017 on PKs. Kiffey. Corner kick coming. Ball served inside the box. Headed still on the line. And the flag is up. As Kiesewetter goes right into Ochoa. And Ochoa's down, shaking off that right hand. One of those where you get collided into, does not feel very nice. So he's gonna be up and all right. 2 shots for the Monarchs. As you'll get a replay look at this one. Header in from Gomez. And Ochoa does a nice job, but Kiesewetter and him collide.
But the Monarchs are very lucky there that they did not have anybody on one of the posts to keep him on sides. They're going to have to know where all the players are on free kicks. Players can't fall asleep in those situations because that's when you get punished, and the Monarchs were almost punished there. They need to do a little bit better job of knowing where their marks are next time.
Kiesewetter, 12 goals on the season, very capable of scoring for El Paso. Gomez. Heavy ball in. Jack Blake applies pressure. Into Michael Chang. Blake gets it forward to Portillo. Portillo trying to find Martinez. As Antoko does a nice job on his back and has done a great job all season long. It's that staunch center back. Ross settles. Gets it wide to Salgado. Salgado's gonna go forward. He's gonna show his pace. Salgado riding there defending him. Salgado.
You see that? Stop!
Salgado and Ryden battling. Velasquez calls for a foul as Salgado went down. I think Monarchs bench are quite frustrated because it looked like it was out of play. Fox plays it wide. Play building from El Paso here in the last few minutes. As Becky's gonna get it wide. Schmidt defending him. Becky picks up his head. Plays it into Salgado. Jack Blake gives it up. Velasquez. Yuma. El Paso feel like they're kind of starting to sustain some attack and poke and prod on this defense of the Monarchs. Chang, he'll play it forward, finds Martinez. Chang's running forward. Fox is gonna have to figure out where Chang is. Ball inside, played in the box, but Nantoko deflects it out of play, and it'll be a corner kick for the Monarchs.
Once again, great job from Michael Chang and Douglas Martinez to get themselves into the attack. But right now, Landon, they're the only ones getting into the attack. It's been Douglas and Michael going against that back four of El Paso. The Monarchs are going to need to get a little bit more numbers forward to support them. We saw it from Tate Schmidt earlier making that back post run. But we need to see Luke Mulholland, we need to see Jack Blake, we need to see the two wingbacks getting into that attack to support them.
Justin Portillo will take the corner kick for the Monarchs. It's gonna be a right-footed in-swinger coming from Portillo. Ball driven inside the box, trying to find Ryden. Gets his head on it. It'll be out of play, and it'll be a goal kick coming for Logan Ketterer. Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the Championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL, and at least 19 games a year will be featured on the ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Foul called on the Monarchs. Be a free kick coming. Monarchs have committed 5 fouls so far, 4 against El Paso. Ross, back to Yuma. Ball played inside to Ross. Sebastian Velasquez sitting a little higher for El Paso here in the last few.
And as you can see, he's trying to sit in that space between Justin Portillo and the center backs right now. Because Portillo's done such a good job man-marking him, he's got to find those spaces behind him.
Tate Schmidt does a nice job to settle it. Pushes it into the waiting arms of Salgado. Salgado turns him, takes a crack, and a deflection off the Monarchs.
And the
they'll dump it forward. Martinez is going to give chase as Ketterer comes off his line.
Tate Schmidt does a great job with his one-on-one defense there, but the young defender gets himself a little too close to Salgado. Salgado's easily able to spin him. He's got to learn, give yourself a little bit of space, because experienced strikers like Salgado, like Keith Sweater, these guys will spin you right away, as Salgado did there.
Salgado with some experience all across the world. Salgado, or excuse me, Becky, back to Nantoko. Both teams 2 playoff wins to get to this point. We're still in that winner-go-home situation. Salgado trying to get it to that right foot. Continues to go forward. Ball played inside the box, and Ochoa collects. Not the service that Mark Lowry was looking for from his side. As you can see, now the pressure is being applied a little bit higher from El Paso as they're trying to see if they can force some giveaways from the Monarchs back line. Chang. Out wide to Martinez. Martinez picks up his head, looking to Tate Schmidt. Backside of the post, finds it to Jack Blake. Blake trying to find Mulholland, can't get it there. Back to Schmidt. Jack Blake, big switch there. Douglas Martinez brings it down with his chest. Numbers inside the box, big cross there from Douglas Martinez, and it'll go out the opposite side for a throw-in.
The first ball that Douglas Martinez played all the way to the back post of Tate Schmidt was the right ball, because when you have those big bodies of Fox and Ntoko in there, it's going to be very hard for guys like Michael Chang and Jack Blake to get on the end of it. So he's got to find that far back post. Now, can Tate Schmidt find those late runners in Luke Mulholland who can hit those balls from about 20, 25 yards out?
Becky. Header Salgado there. Moberg's gonna have to hustle out wide. Gomez making the run forward. Kiffy played into Gomez. El Paso were 6 games unbeaten before the season finale against Los Dos in the regular season, where they fell 2-0. Monarchs are unbeaten in 14 games at home. Yuma. Gets it wide to Kiffy. One more time, further out wide. Gomez gets around the first defender. Tries to get the ball in after the second defender and takes a deflection, lucky for the Monarchs. As Moberg's taken down by Velasquez. Velasquez gives him a nice pat on the head. Plua. As you saw a replay, look at that one. So Portillo inside the middle of the park. Portillo trying to find Martinez. Nice ball in between Fox and Kiffy, but Martinez doesn't deal with it. very well and plays it. Oh, excuse me, it takes a deflection. Does a nice job to win a corner kick for the Monarchs. And a lucky opportunity for him there.
Well, once again, those balls that Douglas Martinez is getting right now, he's running towards the corner flag. And when you have your leading scorer running away from the goal, that's not a recipe for success. Those balls have to be more down the center part of the field. The person making the runs in the corner should be somebody like Michael Chang, maybe the wing backs, maybe a late run from a center midfielder. But when you have your leading goal scorer, the man that can win those headers in the box running to the corner flags, that's not going to be successful for you.
Corner kick coming. Portillo stands over this one again. First one was driven. This one slices in inside the box. Martinez gets ahead to it. Monarchs still with possession. Into Holt. Holt's going to play a shot in. Elected to shoot instead of playing it right across that back line, and Ketterer collects softly.
And I think now we know why Eric Holt's a center back. Hey, I was a center back myself, so I can pick on the young defender a little bit. But center backs, we want to get shots on goal. They're not always the best.
And I think that's one of the only things that you can say as a center back. Let's give other center backs stick. David Horst, MLS veteran. 40th minute of play, still scoreless in this Western Conference final. Both teams have had slight opportunities, nothing too incredible so far. More of that defensive battle we saw the first time these two teams, or the first two times these sides locked up. For the latest news, player features, and more, visit rsl.com, the best place on the internet to stay up to date with everything happening at the club every single day. Kieselwetter out wide, and it's going to roll long, and it'll go out for a goal kick. Both teams with 87% pass accuracy so far, as that pass got away. El Paso, the best in the USL Championship with 86 on the season. They're right about on par with their season average, 83% from the Monarchs. Good for third in the USL Championship.
And I like this from David Ochoa. Push the lines up. El Paso, they were smelling blood in the water a little bit. They were putting that pressure high. Push the lines up and get the ball higher up the field.
Tate Schmidt, nice settle there. Gets it in Mulholland. Mulholland cycles, trying to find the run of Jack Blake. Tate Schmidt will apply pressure, and it'll go out for a throw-in. Becky will take the throw-in. Monarchs going to push numbers forward, try to apply a little more pressure. Becky with the big throw. Schmidt wins the first ball, goes up for the second. Second ball won by El Paso. Ryden to Schmidt. And the Monarchs will get the throw in. As you can hear from the center referee, let them get set, it's only fair. Don't know that that's one I've heard very often.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
I don't know. Boberg. 42nd minutes. The first half with a lot of defense and not a whole ton of attack so far.
This has definitely been very much a chess match in this first half, Landon. They're trying to poke and prod, find those weaknesses. There's been a couple chances, but not a lot of good ones so far.
One of the things I heard is that Martinez is going to go towards the touchline. Maybe out for a Monarchs throw-in. Was Mark Lowry in the pre-game talked about how he would love to weather the storm in the first half, keep legs, because the altitude in the second half is going to provide a big challenge for this for this El Paso side.
And the Monarchs, they don't want to let this game get deeper and deeper without scoring, because the longer this game goes at a 0-0 scoreline, the more confidence El Paso is going to gather, and that gives them more opportunities and more chances on goal. And that's the one thing the Monarchs want to prevent. Do not let El Paso gain confidence as this game goes on.
Ball being held is Fox, kind of shaking things off. Oberg will take the throw in. Moberg to Mulholland. Mulholland tries a little fancy move there to try to get around the defense of El Paso, but it'll go out and it'll be a goal kick for Logan Ketterer. The 2019 USL Championship final promises to be the biggest in league history. Tune in Sunday, November 17th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2 and now on ESPN Deportes for the biggest match of 2019. The Western Conference champion and the Eastern Conference champion close out the season on a national stage Sunday, November 17th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2 and ESPN Deportes. As one of these two sides will punch their tickets. As Plua's out of position there. Ball out wide to Becky. Becky. Back into Gomez. Out wide to Becky. Ball played inside the box. Moberg heads it away. Mulholland gets the second touch. Yuma finds Seba. Nice ball forward. Trying to find Salgado. Pulls Plua out wide. Becky on the ball. Takes a deflection. It'll be a throw-in for El Paso. Portillo and Velasquez battling in the corner. Velasquez tries to get around, and it'll be a foul on Justin Portillo. It'll be essentially a short corner kick coming here for El Paso.
Justin Portillo, very lucky to not get a yellow card there. That's his third or fourth infraction of this half. And a lot of times, refs, you'll see them count him up and give out a yellow. So Justin Portillo, very lucky to not get his first yellow card there.
As Nick Ross will stand over, and I agree with you on that. That was maybe a little bit of a rougher challenge as well in the corner. As stoppage time is announced. 1 minute of stoppage time here to end the first half. El Paso trying to see if they can get a leg up heading into the locker room. Nick Ross will stand over this one. Short corner coming. Ross towards the back stick. Headed across, inside the area still. Still inside the area, and a goal! El Paso strikes first in the 46th minute of play. And a big moment there for El Paso as they're gonna head to the locker room with a 1-goal lead.
And you saw earlier in the game, El Paso, they scored on a set piece where players lost their marks. This ball not cleared on the first opportunity, bounces around, and El Paso able to capitalize. Here it is. Ball's bouncing around, no one's able to clear it.
And Fox, the center back, puts that one in the back of the nets.
You have to be able to clear those first and second balls, and the longer that ball stays in the box, the better chance El Paso is going to have to score.
Can't be much left here in the first half. As Andrew Fox gets the goal in the 46th minute of play. It's a big step forward for El Paso. Ref checks his watch. Ryden trying to get it forward to Martinez. Martinez defended nicely by Nantoko. And that's the first half whistle. 45 minutes of soccer have been played, and El Paso will take a 1-0 lead to the locker room as we're gonna toss it to a halftime break.
Cuando jugaba en la calle con mis amigos en Cuba, es la primera memoria siempre que me viene a la mente. El fútbol fue lo que más me gustó y para poder jugar profesional tenía que salir de Cuba, porque en Cuba el fútbol no es profesional. Era una decisión más que difícil porque cuando yo salí de Cuba, yo más nunca podía regresar a Cuba. Dejaba atrás a toda mi familia y todos mis amigos y toda mi vida. Llegando del bus, llegamos al hotel y uno de los jugadores se fue y nosotros dijimos, tenemos que irnos ya ahora porque si no nos quitan nuestro pasaporte y entonces no íbamos a poder cruzar la frontera hacia Estados Unidos. Después que nos fuimos, esa misma noche tomamos la decisión si quedarnos en Canadá o ir hacia los Estados Unidos. Yo no sé de qué manera yo al final los convencí y tomamos la decisión de cruzar a los Estados Unidos. Llegamos a Jacksonville y como a los 3 meses tuvimos una tryout en Charleston Battery. Ahí después de 3 meses tuvimos esa oportunidad y nos aceptaron y ahí comenzó nuestra carrera futbolística. Es difícil hablar sobre ese momento porque me sentía muy solo. Sentía como que no sabía qué hacer, estaba en un país y no tenía a nadie, me sentía muy solo, muy solo. Después de yo estar 4 años fuera de Cuba, el gobierno toma una nueva decisión y dice que en 8 años los jugadores que abandonaron el país pueden regresar a Cuba. Este año ya puedo volver a regresar a Cuba a ver a mi mamá después de 8 años y todos los días que hablo con mi mamá y terminamos de conversar, creo que ella llora porque se siente feliz porque yo he logrado mi sueño, pero son 8 años que no veo a su hijo y creo que no sé si cuando me vea hasta le pueda pasar algo, de verdad. Me siento muy contento y muy alegre también por los Monarchs. Creo que este ha sido uno de los mejores años de mi vida. Soy ciudadano americano, que fue una de las cosas que yo soñé al venir aquí a este país y casi estamos a ser campeones también. Es una decisión dura, pero es una decisión que me cambió mi vida para bien y creo que si la tuviera que volver a tomar, la tomaría de nuevo porque yo sé que mi mamá y toda mi familia ya están muy contentas de todo lo que yo he logrado aquí en Estados Unidos. Pienso que cuando uno tiene un sueño, tiene que cumplirlo y mi familia siempre me apoyó.
Fleming's outside. Junior Fleming's 1v1, and it's Fleming's! Continuously giving the ball away. Now it's Blake with a hard effort, and it finds the back of the net. It was coming, and Jack Blaze on the turn. Here's Martinez, and her own foot's Lubin. Harrell with delivery towards the back post. It's all the way in, and Farrell sends it over the bar. Street blocked away. Full time. It's a royal upset. The Monarchs slay the Dragon.
High press gives the Hounds the ball. James slides it in. It's going to fall to Kevin Kerr. Kerr goes back. Whoa. Out of it. Forbes is in. Swinger.
It's a goal. Take some steam out of the Hounds actually by laying down a professional.
That was his old buddy from RMU, Speedy
Coughed it
Williams.
up.
Brett, can he get there? Rounds the keeper. Nico Brett couldn't put it in. Couldn't put it up on it.
Hit it, man.
Spencer. Given here. Ownby got through a body. Morton made a save. Rebound is in.
That was a goal.
City to toss it into play. And Louisville City FC has done what no team has done.
To draw the penalty. Shot put away by Ayoze. Lodo's cross. Hooked in. Rios turning. Oh, what a save by Four. Enormous amount of ground. Here he is. Pasher latching on. He scores. It had to be him. Indy 11 star Tyler Pasher gives the visitors the breakthrough, and they've done it. The final whistle. Martin Rennie's Indy 11 squad.
Either corner of the box, because if you touch it, it could go in. Low delivery into the far post and in. Josue Aron Gomez from James Kiffey. Maybe a step too long, back the other way. Low cross, top of the box, chipped in, wide, Ketterer, what a save! Here is Contreras, rolls it in! Wrong foot Shuttleworth. Seba Velasquez to the far post and in. Seba Velasquez punches El Paso's ticket into the Western Conference Finals.
Tonight's halftime is presented by America First Credit Union, ensuring the financial health of local families and businesses for 80 years. By Steward Healthcare. Steward, world-class healthcare where you live. Visit www.steward.org. We're back here at the half at Zions Bank Stadium, and the visitors with the 1-0 lead as they got a goal late in the first half in stoppage time of the first half to get up on the board and take that decisive lead to the halftime break. As you can check out the picture in the Western Conference, I know we've talked about this in the pregame, but you can see the Monarchs with a win over Orange County, then knocking out the #1 seed Phoenix Rising. El Paso here, courtesy of victories over Fresno, and then a game over Sacramento Republic, a 3-0 victory over them. Eastern Conference final score at halftime, all level at zeros in Indianapolis between Louisville and Indy 11, excuse me. Let's check out the storylines here for this afternoon. As you can check out, that winner goes on to the USL Championship Final. Monarchs with 79 goals on the season, so you can't count them out at this point. And if El Paso were to be able to continue with this scoreline, they'll be the lowest seed in modern USL Championship history to advance to the USL Championship Final. Essentially, since the two leagues, or since it was split into two in the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference. Both teams out on the pitch. Doesn't look like we have substitutions from either side yet, as both coaches are going to elect to bring out the same starting 11. David, what do the Monarchs need to do to get themselves back in this game?
First of all, defensively, they're going to have to apply a little bit more pressure. The last 15 minutes of that first half, El Paso, they had a lot of possession, and they were very successful with it, and they created quite a few chances. So the Monarchs are going to have to apply real pressure now in the second half. And then offensively, they're going to have to figure out a way to open up this El Paso defense, because right now they've been able to clog up those passing lanes that the Monarchs love to take advantage of.
Giffey to Yuma. Monarchs are going to apply a little higher pressure. One of the things to note, the Monarchs have only been shut out 3 times in 2019. 2 of the times coming against El Paso. Monarchs are 10-4-5 since Alave took over midway through the season with a plus 15 goal differential. Then Toko to Fox, the goal scorer. Out wide to Kiffey.
And I think you're already starting to see a little bit higher pressure from this Monarchs team. And it's not just, you know, oh, they're going to take 1 or 2 steps towards them. It's real pressure now. Now they're starting to engage the players higher up the field and try and win in those balls.
Portillo gets it forward to Moberg. Moberg taken out by Kiffey. And Kiffey's going to see yellow card shown to him here in the 47th minute, as we're now have 2 yellow cards in this match. 1 to each side, Tate Schmitz and James Kiffey in the book so far. Moberg's slow to get up. James Kiffey has experience in these USL Championship playoffs. Former champion with Sacramento Republic in 2014. Also knows this Monarch side fairly well, having knocked out the Monarchs in 2017 on PKs, and he was one of the goal scorers in the PK session where Sacramento advanced 3-1. Portillo is going to stand over this free kick just in front of the Monarchs bench. Line for El Paso on top of the 18. Portillo, driven ball, looking back stick. Plua heads it, still inside the box, bouncing around, and a goal! Kalen Ryden! And we are all level here at Zions Bank Stadium. Kalen Ryden emphatically levels things up as another ball bouncing inside the box. And the Monarchs take care of business on that one.
And when you spoke to Mark Lowry in pregame, he said he wanted to, his team has to be aware of that service from Justin Portillo. And as you saw here, great ball to the back post, and the Monarchs get on the end of it, and ball's bouncing around, and Kalen Ryden, silky left-footed finish from the center back. I love when center back scores. landed, but great start to the second half for this Monarchs. That is the energy that they need to carry on for the next 45 minutes.
48th minute goal by Kalen Ryden. His 4th of the season. Kiffy to Nantoko, and we didn't talk about it, but Nantoko got the touch, headed it backwards, and it fell right into the waiting stride of Kalen Ryden, and he was able to smash that one home.
And now that the Monarchs have gotten this early goal in the second half, El Paso is not going to be able to sit back and absorb all that pressure. They're going to have to come out of their lines and try and find a goal.
Michael Chang going forward. Fox defending him. He gets around Fox. Plays it inside the box. Martinez. Nantoko's there. And a good opportunity there from the Monarchs. But great defending by Fox to deny Douglas Martinez.
And as you see in the replay here, this is the inexperience from Fox as a center back. You can't go to ground in those situations because Michael Chang, little touch right around him, gets a great ball in the box, and the Monarchs almost make it 2-1. Fox has to keep his feet in those situations.
Especially with Michael Chang, who's tricky. It's one of those players that has the equivalent of Sebastian Velasquez. You dive in, you look silly in a lot of situations. Portillo gets the warning, no yellow card shown. So we've had 2 shown so far. Kiffy. He swung along the back line of El Paso. 1-1 here in this Western Conference final. 51st minute of play. Eastern Conference final still scoreless in the 50th minute of play. This one started to ramp up.
The Monarchs, they need to keep this energy up. They need to keep this 5,000 strong crowd behind them, because really the energy from this crowd is gonna really push the Monarchs forward.
Kiffy into Kiesewetter. Picks up his head. Had a cup of coffee with the national team. He'll get it back. Looking forward, Kiffy gets the ball almost back to him. Jack Blake slips. And Mulholland is going to play a big ball wide. Martinez gets around Kiffy, and Kiffy's on yellow. And Kiffy is going to be shown the locker room as he gets his 2nd yellow card in a matter of 5 minutes. And he'll leave this match as El Paso is going to play the rest of the 40 minutes down a man.
You have to be so careful when you're on a yellow card. We talked about it with Tate Schmidt in the first half. Kiffy picks up that yellow to start the second half. Did not learn from the previous foul. You got to keep your arms down, man, because if you catch anybody even around the face, it's going to be an automatic yellow, and it is. 2 yellows for literally identical fouls, and now El Paso has to play down a man for the next 38 minutes.
And one of the challenges for El Paso, even if they were to advance at this point, as you get to see a replay, look at this, gets up and over him and hand up to the face to take him down. But even if El Paso were to advance at this point, Kiffy will not play in the USL championship final.
Essentially, his season is over.
Last time we saw a red card shown here was against Orange County, and that was really the undoing of Orange County in that opening round of the playoffs against the Monarchs.
And the Monarchs took advantage of the situation then. They have to do the same thing here. Now, this is when you put your foot on the gas pedal and you don't take it off.
53rd minute of play. All level at 1. Free kick coming for the Monarchs.
And you know what, on the flip side of that now, obviously, El Paso is going to be looking for the Monarchs now to get a red card. So the Monarchs players are going to have to be extra aware of that.
Portillo. Well, everybody holding their line around the PK spots. Portillo swinging the ball in, still inside the box, and cleared away by Kiesewetter into the bench of the Monarchs. It'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs. Quickly taken into Jack Blake. And now's when tactics, if you're Mark Lowry, you have to start adjusting your team to see if you can still create opportunities.
And it's going to be really interesting because it already looks like they're going to have to push Sebastian Velasquez out wide, where he's not as effective because he can't find all those spaces to do what he wants in the middle.
If you're both sides, now is when it's important to keep your head, because you know the refs is willing to show cards. So you do not want to be on the end of another card shown, especially a guy like Tate Schmidt, who's already on yellow. Chang still with that at his feet. Hits off Yuma. It'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs. Big throw-in inside the box. Takes a bounce. Schmidt's header over the bar. Takes a deflection.
We'll see in the replay here. I love that it's a corner for the Monarchs, but the referee could be very hard to tell from that angle, but it looks like when you see the spin of the ball that Tate Schmidt, he misses the header and it actually bounces off of the El Paso player. And I know you see the El Paso players are arguing about it, but when you see that replay, you see the spin on the ball, that is very much off of an El Paso player.
Corner kick coming for the Monarchs. First of the second half. Portillo will take this corner kick. Right-footed ball coming in. Driven ball. Michael Chang near post. Plua gets a foot on it, still bouncing around and cleared away by Fox. Fox came up limping for the second time. He doesn't look like he's feeling quite right.
He took that tumble in the first half down here in the corner, and it doesn't look like he's really recovered too well from it.
It looks like El Paso is going to make a substitution here shortly. Boberg gets around the defense, plays it inside the box. Back to Tate Schmidt. Tate Schmidt puts it in. Ketterer has to push it wide. Not sure where the ball was.
Tate Schmidt gave Ketterer the old changeup there, and I don't think Ketterer was expecting a shot like that.
Moses McKenzie is going to come on here in a second. And frustration from El Paso as they've surrounded our center referee, Rosando Mendoza. We're having a conversation with him.
I mean, El Paso's got a few guys in yellow. They're going to have to be wary here. You can't keep surrounding the referee and not expect him to hand out more yellows to your team.
So we're going to see a substitution. Kieselwetter's night will be done, and Moses McKindy will come in. Former North Carolina State Wolfpack player, 69 appearances, 2 goals for them. He's made 7 appearances here in 2019. Kieselwetter's going to be the sacrificial player for this situation. The Monarchs will have a corner kick here in the 57th. Can they capitalize on being a man up? Portillo plays it inside the box. Yuma heads it, not completely clear, as Velasquez is now going to open things up. Holt's chasing him. Velasquez. Ball from Jack Blake trying to find Tate Schmidt's going to be fouled. Frustration from El Paso. It's going to be on the ground.
And I understand that El Paso feels hard done right now, but they have to keep there's plenty of game left right now, Landon. They have to keep their heads because they can still win this thing.
Martinez, ball up over top. Shot on frame, pushed wide. Ketterer had that near post covered, but a rocket's uncorked by Douglas Martinez. As you're going to get a replay look at this one, no angle, but man, he tested the keeper on that near post.
Hey, when you have scored as many goals as Douglas Martinez has this year, you shoot from everywhere.
The 2020 season for the Utah Royals, RSL, and the Monarchs is just around the corner. Visit rsl.com or call 844-REAL6 to get your season tickets for the RSL family today. 58th minutes. Another corner kick coming. Portillo will take it. near post, headed away, and it'll be a second corner kick.
If you're Justin Portillo right now, just get this ball into the box, because free kicks have been the bane of both teams right now. No one has been able to clear that first ball out, and all the chances and goals have come from these plays.
Second corner in, headed away by Uma. Martinez down on the grounds. As Gomez's boot was high there. Nothing called. Ochoa, big sweeper keeper. As Luke Mulholland's back down behind the play. As El Paso's trying to go, Monarchs coaching staff yelling for the head injury.
You, as a referee, you are required to stop the play immediately if it is a head injury. So I wonder if the referee right now is saying that Luke Mulholland was faking that head injury, because if he didn't want to stop the play, that is what he is saying, Landon, that Luke was faking that injury.
Mulholland's up, thrown in quickly by El Paso, playing a man down. Salgado now playing top of the points. As McKendy slid into the position of Kiffy. As Holtz unable to keep it in front of him as Gomez tried to get the turn. 60th minute of play. 1-1 here at Zions Bank Stadium as the Monarchs now have 8 shots, 3 on goal. El Paso 4 shots, 2 on goal. Possession this half in favor of El Paso, 66-34. And David, you and I talked about this in the first half. 3 of the top 4 players for the Monarchs with most touches are the center backs, Holt, Plua, and Ryden. Salgado. Holt's gonna be called for the foul, and now you have to be really careful in situations not to give up opportunities like this, because there wasn't much in the box. And Holt goes diving in.
And Eric Holt, he's got Salgado going away from the goal. There's no need to put a tackle in like that, because when you have free kicks now, this allows El Paso to get all of their numbers up into the box, and it creates a great scoring opportunity. Eric Holt, you already have the player going away from the goal. Be patient. Trap him on that sideline and try to kick the ball off of him to get the throw in. No need to put in that kind of tackle.
Ross will stand over the free kick. Portillo, a one-man wall in front of him. Someone down in the box. Back up is our AR on the far side is gonna make a comment into our center referee via the headset. Ross will stand over this free kick. Plays it inside the box. Takes a deflection. Schmidt plays it out, and it'll be a throw-in coming. And this is where it's starting to get dangerous. Moments where the ball bounces in the box. We've seen both opportunities, both goals come on those type of plays.
And El Paso also had a goal called back in the same situation. So really, all of the best opportunities tonight have come from those free kicks. Both teams have to do a better job of clearing those first and second balls out of danger.
Velasquez trying to get around Tate Schmidt. Schmidt does a good job defending him. Mulholland. As it looks like Chang was pushed out. Monarchs gonna take the reset. Headed forward. Martinez settles. Gomez gets in, but it'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs. I think it's one of those plays where it was last touched by the Monarchs, but maybe could have given the free kick, but it'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs. Douglas Martinez pleading his case to our center referee, Mendoza.
And we'll take a look at the replay here. I mean, it's very close, but I think that is a fair challenge. And Douglas Martinez, as the bigger, stronger player, he's got to prove that he's the bigger, stronger player. He's got to be a little bit tougher in those challenges.
Give some credit to El Paso here in the last few. They've weathered some of that second half storm that the Monarchs brought out quickly into the second half.
And really, you're only going to see El Paso attack with 3 players now between Gomez, Velasquez, and Salgado. Everybody else is going to sit back and try to weather those attacks, Landon. And El Paso, they're gonna go at it with three attacking players.
Ball wide to Moberg. Gomez defending him. We'll play it along the back line. Fans, you can continue to enjoy the USL on ESPN through the 2022 season. The USL is excited to announce that the championship and League One will remain with the leader in sports for 3 more years. ESPN Plus will continue to be the home of all things USL. And at least 19 games a year will be featured on ESPN family of networks, including 9 games on ESPN Deportes. Continue to follow, support, and watch your club on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Portillo out wide to Moberg. Moberg settles with the chest, tries to get around the first defender and the second. Looking to play it in the box, no one home as Moberg is taken out. So he got clattered into from behind, but a good job getting around 2 defenders. No one in the box for the service.
Yuma, who's sitting on a yellow card, puts in a very Yuma did not get a yellow card in the first half, but puts in a very questionable challenge in the box. He's going to have to be very careful with that.
Salgado, Gomez wide of him. Salgado, still going wide. Plua defending him. As Gomez got the header, pushes it wide. Monarchs were trying to pull Gomez off. I think he was able to get back onside and find himself in that gap between the 2 center backs.
But when you look at your screen right now, there's 3 El Paso players attacking and 6 or 7 Monarchs players defending. You cannot allow Gomez to find that space. There's only 1 or 2 players. Mark them. Don't allow them to find dangerous spaces.
Martinez and Fox gonna battle. Martinez, back heel flick into the corner, and Fox pushes him down, and there's no foul called. As Martinez needs to be careful. Frustration there from Douglas Martinez, as you see, and that's not the smartest challenge, but a foul definitely could have been called there on the first.
First one is definitely a foul, but Douglas Martinez, when you see a player get up from a questionable challenge and go right after the player that put in the challenge, he's got to be careful because that's a challenge from behind. And Douglas Martinez is a player that the Monarchs do not want to lose for this game and possibly the next.
And that's something, if I were the center referee, I mean, that retaliation challenge needs to be a yellow card. You do not want to see that from players. That's definitely something that's going to cause issues. Salgado, he plays it forward. Ball inside the box. And Tate Schmidt was there to cause issues as Ochoa is going to be clattered into from behind. This game's opened up a little bit here in the last few. Temper's starting to rise as both sides trying to see if they can figure out how to open up this game. So Ochoa's gonna get some assistance from the athletic trainers. The 2019 USL Championship Final promises to be the biggest in league history. Tune in Sunday, November 17th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. And now ESPN Deportes for the biggest match of 2019. The Western Conference champion and the Eastern Conference champion close out the season on a national stage. Sunday, November 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2 and ESPN Deportes. As Ochoa's up after getting some assistance from the athletic trainers for the Monarchs.
And you have to give El Paso credit. Right now, with 3 players, they are being very dangerous, Landon. Gomez, Salgado, and Velasquez are causing fits for this back line of the Monarchs. The Monarchs, even though they are up a man, they've got to pick that level back up. They've taken the foot off the gas a little bit. They've got to apply that pressure again.
Give some credit to El Paso, as they're not letting this one go easily. Monarchs came out in the second half, found a goal. The red card changed the style of game, but El Paso really hasn't let up with their intensity. As now the goal has to be take care of counterattacks and see if you can weather the storm and possibly get late into this game where it's anybody's game. Jack Blake into Portillo. Out wide to Schmidt. Into Mulholland. Nice ball to him. Mulholland tries to get it into Martinez. Yuma, very technical there, able to keep it at his feet calmly and coolly finds his teammates. Velasquez dancing, getting around a couple defenders, plays it forward, and Salgado will get a foot race with Wright. A nothing there. Monarchs quickly go forward. Now they're going to try to impose their will with the altitude. And a man up. Chang with the footwork there, unable to keep it in. It'll be a throw-in for El Paso. We have to take a second to pay our respects to the 22 who lost their lives in El Paso on August 3rd. The shooting there at Walmart, and we know we saw a tifo from the 8th notch with 22 scars, representing those 22 people that lost their lives. And all of the USL family is with El Paso and has been this season. And now on the Monarchs.
And you're starting to see a little bit of gamesmanship from El Paso as we approach the 70th minute here. They're starting to take their time on throw-ins. They're taking their time on free kicks. And they're just trying to get to the end of this game right now. But they're going to slow everything down as much as they can. And the Monarchs, they have to keep their energy up and not give in to that slowdown.
One of the things that El Paso has done a phenomenal job as all season long, keeping possession. 57% is their average possession rates. Best in the USL Championship this season. As Martinez applies some pressure, almost a giveaway there. Ball forward, Salgado, great little turn there. Salgado going forward, Plua checking back to him. Salgado still with it at his feet. Salgado goes towards the touchline. Ball prayed across, and Schmidt clears as there was runners in the box from El Paso.
And now Monarchs need to take advantage of this. When El Paso gets numbers forward, they have to counterattack quickly and try to take advantage of El Paso having numbers down defensively.
Gomez will see yellow as he took down Jack Blake. So we've now seen 3 yellow cards shown. 4 yellow cards shown, as 2 were shown to James Kiffey. Monarchs have been up a man since the 51st minute as James Kiffey was shown his 2nd yellow card. Told to head to the showers. Restart taken by Holtz. Portillo to Michael Chang. Ball played, trying to find it to Tate Schmidt. Nice job there by Becky as he gets it back to Ketterer. Ketterer takes the ball to ground to maybe take a second further off of this game. Gomez held up by Holtz. And that is a definition of a professional foul there.
And you've seen the Monarchs now, the center backs for the Monarchs, the last couple of times, they're getting themselves a little too tight, a little too late, and it's allowing El Paso to spin them. Salgado just did it to Conrad Plua, and Gomez just did it to Eric Holt. They have to be a little bit smarter with that pressure because you're going to put yourselves in dangerous situation if that keeps happening.
And now's the time in the game you have to just be smart. We've already seen cards shown. This game's open in that sense, so you do not want to find yourself in the ref's back pockets.
Come on, guys, keep working. Come on, discipline, come on.
Especially since at this point we're all still level at 1 and a chance to play in the USL Championship final. Ochoa runs towards Velasquez and make sure that one crosses the end line for a goal kick.
I like the energy from Ochoa right here. He's getting the ball back in the play very quickly. He's trying to catch El Paso sleeping. Monarchs need to do more of that as for the next 18 minutes of this game.
Move it, move
Move the ball quicker, get restarts back in quicker. Don't take your time. Do not let El Paso get set defensively. Try to catch them off guard.
Monarchs are 24, 5, and 6, like I mentioned earlier, since April 30th, and a plus 46 goal differential. So goals flow here at Zions Bank Stadium. And the last time we saw a red here at Zions Bank Stadium, or excuse me, a double yellow, was against Orange County, and after that, the goals just came in bunches. Ball played wide, headed out by Becky, and it'll be a throw-in for Schmidt in the corner. Tate Schmidt's gonna take the throw-in. Quickly into Martinez. Back to Tate Schmidt. Portillo takes a shot, pushed wide. And McKendy had to deal with it and push it out. As Portillo took a crack and Ketterer had to stretch almost completely out to push it wide.
If you're El Paso, you do not want to see Justin Portillo with time at the top of the box, because you know he has the ability to bury that in the top corner, and he almost did there.
Another corner kick coming for the Monarchs, the 7th. Portillo, Ryden gets his head on it, still inside the box. Cleared away by El Paso. Velasquez. Moberg, Mulholland there. Mulholland frustrated with the AR, or excuse me, the 4th official. The other game, Indy 11 takes the lead. As they're up 1-0. Courtesy of goal by Tyler Pasher in the 67th. Indy trying to punch their ticket to the USL Championship final in the Eastern Conference. Tate Schmidt. Wide to Douglas Martinez. Portillo with a lot of space in front of him if he can pick up his head. Finds service out to Moberg. Monarchs need to get numbers in the box. We've seen service a couple times. It's Mulholland looking for the foul at top of the box. Ross was defending him. Ketterer will push it to the corner and take a little more time off the clock. 76th minute of play. All level here at Zions Bank Stadium. Monarchs up a man.
No foul.
Ball played forward. Salgado. Plua defending him. Holt getting back, no numbers forward for El Paso, as he'll wait to play it backwards. Kendi back to Fox. Road to the to the 2019 USL Championship final continues Friday, November 1st. You can follow these games on ESPN Plus. Nantoko to Ross. Salgado pushing Hyde. Velasquez now checking in the middle of the park. Yuma to Ross. It'll be recycled along the back line. McKindy will play it forward, trying to find Salgado, and that's worked well so far, getting it wide to Salgado. Salgado defended by Plua. Mulholland's there, ball played inside the box. Holt pushes it high, still up top of the box. Sebastian Velasquez with it. Jack Blake. Ross, ball played in. Ochoa collects.
Right now, the Monarchs they're a step late to everything again. This is the same kind of pressure that they were applying in the first half. They're allowing El Paso to control the rhythm and dictate the rhythm and what's happening. And El Paso's down a man. You wouldn't think that right now with how much possession they're having. The Monarchs, they need to step that pressure up again. Put that foot back on the gas. Make it hard for El Paso. They're down a man. It's the 78th minute. They're at elevation. The altitude has to take effect soon.
James Moberg will step off the pitch here in the 78th minute as Noah Powder will replace him, a like-for-like substitution. James Moberg having recently returned from an injury, but a solid 79 minutes from him. Noah Powder gonna get his first touch, settles it down with the chest. Mulholland to Powder. Get it wide to Mulholland. Monarchs trying to get numbers in the box. Powder. Out wide, good ball movement here from the Monarchs. Chang, big switch, trying to find Tate Schmidt. Headed away. And it'll be a goal kick. His last touched by Tate Schmidt. Becky and Tate Schmidt collide. Tate Schmidt holding his back heel on his left foot. Nothing in the Eastern Conference Final. 1-1 here at Zions Bank Stadium. Monarchs with 10 shots. 5 on goal. El Paso with 5 shots, 2 on goal. But the only thing that matters right now is the 1-1 score on the board. Final 10 and change coming at you here momentarily. Holt wins that challenge. Yuma comes sliding in. As both players left their feet in an awkward challenge from both players.
They did both leave their feet, but when you see the replay, Yuma does come in with his cleats up, which I think is very difficult not to do that in that situation. So I feel bad for Yuma that there was a foul.
Jack Blake, he'll pick up his head, plays it in, and Ketterer collects and goes to grounds. Monarchs attack so far coming through that right side through Douglas Martinez. 66% of the time. Ball played forward. Salgado and Plua battling.
That's much better work from Conrad Plua. Anticipate, get your body in a good position so you can win that ball before it gets to Salgado. Much better anticipation from Conrad Plua there.
Monarchs on the front foot forward with a man up. Ball played inside the box. Chang tries to settle. Yuma pushes away. Ball forward. Gomez out wide to Salgado. Salgado inside the box. Salgado puts it on frame. Pushed away by David Ochoa. And it'll go out for a throw-in.
That is a fantastic save from David Ochoa there. This is 5 yards away, and Salgado's got a cannon of a left foot. Great save from David Ochoa.
And you gotta love Salgado for taking a crack there. There's not many opportunities and no one really in the box to play it into. So with a tight angle, taking a shot like that may be ambitious, but he has the pace on that left foot.
Really, with the way El Paso's been playing the last 15 minutes, you would not know that they are down a man right now.
Gomez. McKindy. Get it all the way back to Fox. Gomez gets it into Velasquez. Velasquez plays it in, takes it a deflection off Holtz, and it'll be a corner kick coming for El Paso, second of the match. Only the first for them here in the second half. Last time we saw a corner kick from El Paso was when the goal was scored. Wasn't dealt with nicely by the Monarchs, and El Paso was able to capitalize as Fox put one in the 45th plus minutes. Ball served in, looking back stick, headed, and it'll be a goal kick coming for the Monarchs. El Paso trying to get numbers back, 83rd minute of play. Ochoa with 3 saves tonight. Powder was not in position to get forward with that one. It'll go out of play. 1-1 here at Zions Bank Stadium, the Western Conference Final of the USL Championship. Holt battling with Salgado. Salgado starting to show a little frustration.
I mean, Sagao, he's up there by himself against 3 big center backs. He's got to be, it's going to be physical, and he's done a great job up until this point, but he's got to keep battling for the next 10 minutes.
Holt to Jack Blake. Monarchs are going to try to start moving the ball quickly. As now when you start to wonder, will elevation play a fact in this game for El Paso? 4,700 feet here at Zions Bank Stadium. Schmidt. Is it back to Mulholland? The Monarchs are going to have to figure out how to unlock this defense of El Paso, who's done a good job here in the last few of closing down passing lanes. Mulholland. Back to Holtz. Out wide to Noah Powder. Powder. To Mulholland. Mulholland's going to get it back. McKendy defending him. Gets it back. Nice combination play. Chang's gonna get it out wide. To Noah Powder. Powder picks up his head. Looking back. Headed away. Ryden settles with the chest. Wide to Schmidt. Schmidt towards the touchline. Gets around the first defender. Trying to get the return pass. Mulholland looks like he's cramping now. Salgado, he'll go forward. Salgado. It's like a shoulder-shoulder challenge, frustration from the bench of El Paso, but a great opportunity if El Paso were able to get around that challenge of Kalen Ryden. As the counter-attacking style is going to provide for some opportunities here in the last 6 and change. Noah Powder. Into Michael Chang. Chang! Shot off Ketterer's face!
Wow, what a save from Ketterer. That's what it takes in these moments. Michael Chang, great ball in by Noah Powder. Ketterer makes himself big, is what you want from your goalie. And hey, you have to use every part of your body to keep that ball out of the net.
Logan Ketterer, 13 clean sheets on the season, 77 saves coming into tonight, and he's been awesome here in the last few. Portillo, swinging it in, pushed away by Yuma. Powder's gonna get back to Portillo. Portillo inside the box, Ryden was there, ball falls, Holt takes a crack, and a big deflection. Monarchs need to get numbers back in position to defend. As Tate Schmidt there. It'll be a foul as Sebastian Velasquez asking for something, a throw-in, coming for El Paso. Free kick coming. For the latest news, player features, and more, visit rsl.com, the best place on the internet to stay up to date with everything happening at the club every single day. Gomez. Portillo defending him. Takes a deflection. Gonna find Velasquez. Velasquez to Salgado. And Salgado, it'll be pushed away, and it'll be a corner kick coming for El Paso as they are living in situations like this, getting it to their target forward in Salgado, and he's creating opportunities, and some of them might be coming via corner kicks.
And to be honest, he's creating a lot of these opportunities himself, and he has put in one heck of a shift in this second half, and there's only a couple minutes left in regulation here. Can El Paso, can they find that goal here on a set piece?
Corner kick, third of the match. Headed inside the box. Opportunity still inside the box. Cleared away, not completely though. And Toko. Ross. He's gonna go wide. Still keeps it at his feet. And he'll get the ball, return ball back. Gomez, defended by Powder. And the ball is going to be a throw-in for the Monarchs. Frustration from the substitutes of El Paso. 88th minutes. to be a foul and a free kick coming for El Paso, and I think we're going to see yellow cards shown to Justin Portillo here in the 88th.
You've got to give Justin Portillo credit in the fact that he's probably had about 15 fouls in this game, and he's just getting that first yellow card, Landon. Talk about being unassuming and not getting a yellow card earlier on in this game. Justin Portillo very lucky right now.
Another opportunity for El Paso, who really don't look like they're a man down here in the last few, are creating opportunities while the Monarchs have really just been in a possession situation.
And the Monarchs have really taken their foot off the gas right now. They keep giving El Paso chances, and at some point they can't keep this up. They're gonna break at some point.
Free kick coming. Ross will play it in. Ross plays it back stick, headed away by the Monarchs. Yuma's gonna try to keep it in. Defended by Chang. Schmidt's gonna come out and apply pressure to Velasquez. Velasquez to Ross, who plays it back in. Ryden rises high. Chang picks up his head, tries to find Jack Blake. As we're gonna see stoppage time announced here shortly. About 30 seconds away from that. And now you have to start to wonder, can something happen in these 4 minutes for either side? Are we headed to the extra time period? Salgado. Holtz goes to ground. Looks like he kept it out of a corner kick, but it'll go to corner.
Once again, Omar Salgado, he is making things happen from El Paso. The big man up top, constantly winning these corner kicks. Can El Paso get on the end of one of these?
Ross will take the corner kick as Kiffy's the normal set piece taker. He's in the locker room. Ball played near post. Kept in by Ross. Ross is gonna get a second ball in the box. Plays it in. Headed by Ryden, and it'll be out for another corner kick for El Paso. Sebastian Velasquez will take the corner. 4 minutes of stoppage time. We're unofficially through one. Velasquez plays it inside the box. Still inside the box. Gomez up and over the bar. Not a bad look there from Gomez. But the Monarchs, if they want to see this one out, ball's on the field. So Ochoa's gonna get a second opportunity to that one. Powder. Big switch there. Over to Schmidt. Into Chang. Chang to Mulholland's cut off by El Paso, and a foul on the Monarchs.
And I'm going to guess that Yuma, he's going to get a little bit of gamesmanship here. They're going to take as much time as they need. About 2 minutes left in this game. Can they just get to that final whistle, get a break, and get into the overtime?
Could be moving to that additional 15-minute periods of extra time. And one of the rule changes in the USL, each team will get an additional sub if we go to that point. Mulholland out wide to Martinez. Monarchs trying to strike late. Ball inside the box, no one home. Becky heads it down. Ketterer has to come off his line quickly. He almost left that in a sitting spot for Tate Schmidt.
Great awareness from Drew Becky, but I don't think Ketterer was expecting him to head the ball straight down there.
Fox. Ball played forward. Gomez is going to get a run. It's going to go all the way back to Ochoa. Under a minute left here, unofficially, in stoppage time. Can one of these two sides find the decisive game winner? Portillo. Wide to Tate Schmidt. Schmidt, he'll run at the defense. Schmidt, wide to Powder. Powder picks up his head. Into Chang. Chang inside the box. Headed high, still inside the box. And Ketterer does a good job to push that away, as Mulholland's gonna see yellow here in the 93rd. Now both defensive mids for the Monarchs sitting on a yellow card, as Mulholland and Portillo with yellow. Schmidt as well has a yellow, and Gomez for El Paso. Did you get to see a replay look at that one? Mulholland catches him from behind. Clear foul on the Monarchs. Ketterer. As that's 90+ minutes of soccer, and we're all level at 1 apiece here at Zions Bank Stadium. And the crazy thing is, the other game just in the 94th minute became level, as Louisville puts one in at the death to extend that one a little further. So both games are going to go into the extra time period. And David, now this is when you have to start to be smart. Players are sitting on yellow cards. You have to start to wonder what players do you want on the pitch if you go to PKs, and who would take those.
You're also going to have to be very wary of players that they're starting to run out of energy land. And it's been a long day at elevation. It's very warm out here. So players aren't going to be able to step out as much because they're going to need people to cover them. That you don't take chances in this 30 minutes. Unless you're the Monarchs, you're up a man. Maybe you change the formation a little bit if you're Hamas and Olave to get more players into that attack, because right now, El Paso, they've only been playing with one striker. And Omar Salgado has been causing all kinds of fits for the 3 center backs. But there's always been one extra defender that hasn't been doing anything. So can the Monarchs, can they get more bodies into the attack and put that foot back onto the gas pedal? You really have to give credit to El Paso, though. That was an unbelievable performance that they put in after the red card, because it is not easy playing down a man here at Zions Bank Stadium.
And now here becomes something you have to think about. Fresh legs, who do you bring into this match? Both teams have substitutions, have people available. And I got likes of Kyle Coffey, Julian Vasquez for the Monarchs, maybe on the attacking side, or Luis Arriaga, unless you want to go more defensively with a Sam Brown or Steve Hasso. On the opposite side, Bassetti, Contreras, and Ryan, maybe to apply in that little bit of the attack. Herrera, Diaz are also additional substitutions. And here in the USL Championship, one of the rules are that you get an extra substitution to be made in the extra time period. So you get a 4th substitution in this extra time period, but you cannot make that substitution once the extra time is over and between the PKs. So it has to be in the run of play in those 30 minutes.
And that's great news for El Paso right now, because they have some tired legs out there. So will they make the most of that possible extra substitution that they're going to get?
And if you're Hamas and Olave, what are you telling the boys at this moment? You've been in situations like this. What is being said for this side? Up a man at home.
If you're the coaching staff right now, you tell the boys you're in a great position right now, but you just need 10% more. That's it. That extra 10% is going to push the Monarchs on to victory.
And if you're Mark Lowry, you've got to make some decisions real quick. Let's check out the goals from the match, starting with El Paso. You're going to see this opportunity by Fox, falls right to him, and he puts it in that corner pockets like a nice game of pool. You're going to get a replay look at that one. Takes a deflection and just not dealt with well by the Monarchs, but a good finish there by Fox. And then you see the Monarchs opportunity. Kind of a similar situation. Then Toko touches it, falls right to Kalen Ryden, who slams it home.
And really, these set-piece situations have been causing havoc for both sides tonight. Neither team has really been able to clear out that first ball or the second ball, allowing multiple opportunities on these plays. Now, with the amount of corner kicks that the Monarchs gave up near the end there, they actually did a much better job of clearing those first and second balls out, but they have to continue that same mentality here into the extra time.
Let's check out the score in the Eastern Conference, as it was leveled late, and they're gonna head to extra time just like this game. So that's one of the maybe benefits for both sides. Both teams are gonna have tired legs, as it was a late 94th minute goal by Louisville to level things up, as Hopino, the former Reno player, levels things up. And what a game over there. Both pretty even on shots. 10 shots for Indy, 9 for Louisville. El Paso out on the pitch. So if you're Mark Lowry, what things and adjustments do you make here in this extra time period? And how do you try to find a goal? Or do you just hope for PKs at this point?
Really, you tell the boys that keep doing the same thing you were doing, because you were doing a great job defensively, and keep finding the big man up top, because right now Omar Salgado is making things happen for this El Paso attack. It's 1 against 3, but he has done a fantastic job in this second half. So really, keep feeding him that ball. And honestly, they got to dig deep. They played down for a long time with 10 men. Now they have another 30 minutes to go. So these situations, it comes from deep within you.
Monarchs gonna be moving from right to left, or north to south here at Zions Bank Stadium. Ball stays in. Gomez gets on the ball. Gomez going towards Holtz. He'll pull it back. And one of the things that you have to look at, Logan Ketterer, the keeper for El Paso, is phenomenal at penalty kicks. He's saved 4 out of the 6 he's faced this season, and they've all been on the road. As well as some great PK takers for El Paso. Martinez going forward to Chang. Chang slows things up just outside the area. Michael Chang pushed away! Ketterer keeps this one level, and a beautiful save. My, oh my. You gotta love that stretch by Logan Ketterer.
And old trusty Michael Chang making things happen on his own. But once again, it's only Douglas Martinez and Michael Chang in the attack landed. Can the Monarchs, they need to get more numbers forward to support them.
Corner kick coming for the Monarchs. Justin Portillo is gonna step wide. Logan Ketterer having himself an afternoon here late in this game to keep it level. Portillo will take this corner kick from the near side. Ball played inside the box. Ketterer punches it away. Jack Blake settles to Noah Powder. Blake will get it back. He'll put service inside the box, trying to find Chang, as Ryden had his hands on the back.
Quickly. Dale, Michael, dale.
I'd like to thank all those of you tuning in today on ESPN Plus or here locally on KMYU in the city of Utah and the surrounding regions. Appreciate all of you tuning in from El Paso, wherever you may be around the country. An exciting one. An extra soccer to be played here in Harriman, Utah. Gomez, nice job to keep possession. To Ross. Big ball, tries to play it across. Oh, and gets in the way. The crowd chants, Luke. Sometimes sounds like a boo, but it's that light Luke. Or low Luke, excuse me. Ball inside. Ryden battles hard. Gets ball away from Gomez. Monarchs will keep possession. Powder came on as a second half substitute. Martinez battling. He's going to be taken down, and a foul will be called. I know El Paso is going to feel like they're hard done, as they were looking for the first foul, but it was the second foul that was called as Martinez went down. It'll be a free kick coming for the Monarchs.
As we take a look at the replay here,
Oh, yep. First foul definitely should have been called as Martinez caught
when you've
Yuma
given
across
when
the
you've
face.
given 2 yellows previously in this game for arms that have been high to the face, you gotta question why that one was not called.
And unlucky there from El Paso, as they're going to make another substitution. And I know there's Mark Lowry mentioning to the AR, or the fourth official, that Kiffey got sent off for that same type of foul. Definitely has a valid point there. Substitution will come after the free kick. Justin Portillo swung inside the box, takes a deflection, falls right to Ryden, and I don't think he expected that as Becky was unable to get his head on it. There's Richie Ryan, going to enter the match.
He's right there. He's right there.
As Gomez, his afternoon will be done. He's going to take his sweet time to step off the pitch.
Come on, Red. Hey!
I mean, the referee can stand there and point to his watch all day, but you never add as much time as players waste. He's got to nip these things in the bud early and not allow players to keep doing this stuff.
Richie Ryan, one of the best in long pass accuracy for El Paso. Great with the long ball. Louisville just scored in the Eastern Conference Final, and they are up now 2-1 in the extra time, as they came from behind, down a goal all the way until the 94th. 1-1 here at Zions Bank Stadium in the Western Conference Finals, as we've now entered extra time. Just yelling for a yellow card, a second yellow, but he's not even on a yellow yet.
As we take a look at the replay here, I think Eric Holt does win the ball legally, but it's that trailing leg that brings Salgado down, and that's going to be a foul all day long. Is it necessarily a yellow or red card offense? I don't think so, because he does win the ball very cleanly, but it's that trailing leg that kind of scissors him and catches him. But the young defender has to realize, when you go to ground in these situations, you are putting your fate in the referee's hands, and at this point in the game, you can't do that. Try to stay on your feet next time.
And Toko, wearing the orange boots, plays it wide to his center back partner, Fox. McKindy, the substitute. Holtz, battling with Salgado. And Holtz will win the foul for the Monarchs. Ball into Portillo. Powder out wide into Jack Blake. He plays it in. Toko's there, and Toko clears it away. Portillo, he'll play it back out wide to Noah Powder. Settles, plays it inside the box, trying to find Chang. Chang trying to be fancy there, trying to find Jack Blake, or excuse me, Luke Mulholland. And El Paso will try to come forward. Courtesy of Sebastian Velasquez, the former Real Salt Lake player, as well as Real Monarch.
And Sebastian Velasquez did a great job for the Monarchs last year, but I don't think with his age that he really fit into what RSL was doing. I would have loved to have seen him back in a Monarchs uniform, but I don't think he necessarily fit into that game plan that this organization was developing.
Mulholland. And Schmidt out wide of him. Tate Schmitz. Louisville Cardinal. And Portillo. Out wide to Powder. Monarchs have numbers in the box. See if they can get some service in there. Portillo, top of the area, into Chang. Chang, shot wide. He just could not keep that on frame, but that was eerily similar to the shot he got off earlier where Logan Ketterer parried that one away.
Michael Chang, he's gonna wish he had that one back. He gets himself in a good position, but just curls it over the goal.
Logan Ketterer will take a little bit of time. 99th minutes. We're here in stoppage time in this Western Conference final. Becky trying to play it forward to Velasquez, and you can see some frustration there from Sebastian Velasquez. Becky put up the hand. He knew what he did there.
It's the right idea from Becky, but it's just tired legs, and players aren't going to get to those balls right now for El Paso.
And one of the things, if you're El Paso, you have to take care of the ball. Any opportunity you have to take care of it, because late in this game, the Monarchs have had the ball for large periods of time where you're just running. Into Mulholland. Mulholland takes a shot. Never was low enough as that one continued to rise and will be wide of goal. So you're going to see a replay look at that one. He puts it up and over the crossbar. Ketterer did not feel in danger at any moment. Monarchs arrived at this point via wins over Orange County here at home 6-2. Then down on the road against the #1 team in the USL Championship, Phoenix Rising. El Paso reached this point with wins at Phoenix 3-2 and a 3-0 win over Sacramento. Fouls called on the Monarchs. I know that scoreline looks a little menacing, that 3-0 from Sacramento. It maybe was a little closer than it shows. Logan Ketterer with a huge save in the 80th minute to keep El Paso up 1-0. And then the goals started to pour as 2 goals, with one being a penalty kick by Sebastian Velasquez late in the match. Ball takes a deflection. Chang over there. Ryan. Richie Ryan. Velasquez. Becky's gonna slow up behind him. Velasquez will play it back to Becky. Monarchs 18-10-8 on the season. 11-2-4 at home. Been really efficient here in 2019 here at Zions Bank Stadium. The first time we've gotten to this point of extra time for either side. It's expansion side, El Paso trying to punch their tickets. The USL Championship Final. A spell of possession from El Paso. As you can tell, legs are really heavy, David, as guys are kind of just in that slow jog.
And this is what I talked about earlier. You have to find that extra bit of whatever it is deep down inside of you to finish this game out, because that's what it's going to take to win this game for these guys.
So corner kick's going to be won. Salgado down inside the box. Looks to be holding his right leg. Oh, looks to be all right. It's going to be a corner kick coming. El Paso with another corner kick.
And as you can tell, everybody is walking into position right now. El Paso has put in one heck of a shift here between the second half and this first overtime period.
6th corner kick of the afternoon coming for El Paso. Here's we're in the 102nd minute. Ball inside the box, over everybody's head. Nantoko's gonna try to keep it in. Nantoko in the corner. And it'll go out, and it'll be a goal kick for the Monarchs. Nantoko was trying to win the corner, unable to do so. So we're getting late here in this first period of extra time. Will either team find the decisive game winner here in extra time? Ball out wide, Tate Schmidt inside the box. Schmidt Lifted back post to Jack Blake. Blake into Chang. Chang, ball up over top, but cleared away. A good idea by him. Ryden heads it over to Powder. Gets it back to Jack Blake. Monarchs still with numbers in the box. Ball is going to go all the way to the opposite side. Schmidt puts it back inside the box, and Ketterer collects. But a decent idea there by Michael Chang as he tried to get a little fancy, and that may be what this game requires to break the deadlock. Velasquez out wide. Mulholland's defending him. Ryden cuts off the pass to Salgado. Salgado found himself in a good position, almost with a chance to run at goal. We'll have stoppage time announced here in the next minute or so. First period of extra time. It's getting late. Ball out wide for Noah Powder. Powder dances around, goes towards the touchline, takes a crack. That was one of those that didn't have eyes for frame. An opportunity wasted there for the Monarchs. Goal kick coming for Logan Ketterer.
You can tell El Paso really starting to struggle. They don't have that same counter-attacking energy that they had in the second half. And the Monarchs, they're starting to feel themselves a little bit more. They're getting more and more chances, but they got to make the most of those chances.
Salgado going forward. Portillo going towards him. Salgado to Velasquez. Velasquez trying to turn the Monarchs. Calls for handball. I don't know how you could give something like that. Monarchs struggling to get numbers back. Schmidt defending Sebastian Velasquez. Ball inside the box, takes a deflection. So we've now entered stoppage time. It's going to be a quick minutes, maybe 30-second version of the minutes, as the first period of stoppage time is through, or excuse me, extra time, and we'll move on to the final 15. And now is when you have to start to question, David, what decisions, what substitutions do you make, if any, to get the right people on the pitch for the looming penalty kicks?
Obviously, El Paso, they're losing that energy that they have. I would love to see the Monarchs bring on Kyle Coffey, who is a high-energy player, and he's sneaky, and he makes the most of those situations up top, and he might be the little spark that the Monarchs need right now. They need a little bit of spark offensively, and can Kyle Coffey, can Hamas Olave find somebody to bring in off the bench to bring that spark? And obviously El Paso, keep digging deep and keep trying to grind out this game, because that's all you can do being down a man.
It's a nice crowd on hand here at Zions Bank Stadium. Everybody's a little antsy as we start to get deeper in this game. You can feel the tension from both sides, the players as well as the fans, as you can't help but wonder, are we destined for a penalty kick shootout here at Zions Bank Stadium this afternoon? Both teams, a few players getting their legs stretched out, maybe getting some Vaseline on the legs, some icy hots.
I'm sure there's a lot of Bengay out there right now being applied to those muscles.
Eastern Conference final. Still 2-1 Louisville.
At this point, you do whatever it takes to last the next 15 minutes, Landon. Whether it is whatever you have to put in your body, put on your legs, you do it, because the next 15 minutes really determines the rest of these teams' season.
El Paso seeing if they can continue the train ride all the way to the USL Championship final. Monarchs trying to see if they can punch their tickets and add some more hardware to the trophy case here at Zions Bank Stadium.
And it's those extra runs you do in preseason 9 months ago that really will determine what happens here in the next 15 minutes.
We are underway here in the second 15-minute extra time period. We have played 100 and 5 minutes of soccer. These two sides are all level at 1. Regular season between these two sides, both games were 0-0. Lots of shots, including as well a red card in that first game here at Zions Bank Stadium as Kalen Ryden saw red. Here in this game, James Kiffey saw red after receiving his second yellow card in the 51st minutes. Mark Lowry still has his subs up and moving. Monarchs is kind of standing in the corner, waiting to see if they'll be called upon. Kate Schmidt plays it inside the box, headed away, not completely. Jack Blake to Noah Powder. Chang, top of the area, trying to get the return pass. Yuma does a good job to spot the run of Chang, who was trying to sneak through along that back line. 107th minute here in Harriman, Utah. Beautiful Saturday afternoon here in early November. Noah Powder. Jack Blake quickly pushed into the area. Fox clears it away. And Plua settles. I think if you're Mark Lowry at this point, you can't help but think you would love to go to penalty kicks because you know Logan Ketterer has been so effective here in 2019 with penalty kicks.
If you're El Paso, you do everything it takes to get to that point.
Jack Blake dispossessed. Salgado. A giveaway there by El Paso. Martinez trying to find Chang. And Velasquez, he'll play it forward to Salgado. No numbers forward. Salgado's gonna try to cut in the box, try to make some magic into the side netting. But you know he's capable of putting it right at Ochoa, and you just have to take those chances here late in a game like this.
We saw it earlier in the second half, but Salgado, just for as well as he has done in this game, he has to do a little bit better with that strike on goal next time. He's got to get it on frame. Give yourself a chance to score.
Martinez gets around the defender. He recovers. Gets it into Chang. To Blake. Blake takes a heavy touch. Fouls Yuma. Now you can start to see the cramps setting in. As Jack Blake stretching things out. Yuma will get stretched out by his teammate. As both players are struggling with the cramps. Time to bring out the pickle juice.
Hey, it works. I've done it. When I played in Houston, I would drink pickle juice before games and never cramped.
Gotta love the pickle juice. Sure, there's somewhere down on the field. Maybe those big fair pickles. A big jar in the back. McKendy looking for runners in front of him, trying to find Salgado. It's going to be pushed all the way back to Ketterer. Ketterer's going to take his sweet time. Monarchs in a penalty situation with Ochoa. Has only faced one penalty kick here in 2019, and that was a saved penalty kick against Reno on Corey Herzog. So each keeper is capable of saving penalty kicks. So you have to wonder. Velasquez to Ryan. Back to Velasquez. This game has crawled, slowed to a crawling pace. As the Monarchs are going to make a substitution, Arriaga is going to come onto the pitch for Luke Mulholland. And the Monarchs are going to add a little bit of dynamic creativity through Luis Arriaga. And Luke Mulholland put in a great shift, 110 minutes of soccer for him.
Heck of a shift from Luke Mulholland. It is not easy being in that midfield three in a 5-3-2, and he did a great job getting up and down the field tonight. So, great job to Luke.
Luis Arriaga with fresh legs, he'll come onto the pitch, and now is when you're going to need him to do everything he possibly can to move all the rest of this 5 minutes. Portillo. Big switch to Tate Schmidt. Schmidt cuts in, gets it to Jack Blake. Out wide to Powder. Into Tate Schmidt. Schmidt taken down, no foul called. Salgado does a nice job to hold play up. Yuma. Zomer Salgado is down on the pitch.
Now, Omar Salgado, he has earned that call tonight with the way he's played, but I'm not sure that is necessarily a foul at this point in the game.
He went down.
And it looks like he's more or less cramping, and that could be the reason he fell.
But give him credit, the hold-up play has been excellent from Omar Salgado. But you have to wonder, as a guy starts to cramp in a situation like that, he would probably be a penalty kick taker. You start to wonder, do you give him a shot to take PKs?
Come on!
Crowd trying to will the Monarchs forward. Holtz. Ryan to Velasquez. Yuma will keep possession. Monarchs have to find players.
Right now, if you're Luis Arriaga, you have the freshest legs on the field. There's only 10 minutes left. You do not stop running.
Martinez, Yuma does a good job to come into that challenge. And Yuma read that one nicely all the way long. And that's one of the reasons why he's been in that position tonight, sitting in the center of the park, just doing a phenomenal job patrolling that midfield. Throw-in coming for the Monarchs, 112th minutes, or 13th minute, excuse me. We're getting here in the final few moments of this 30 minutes of extra time. Louisville puts in another goal, and it's 3-1 now as they look to seal things off without having to go to penalty kicks. On the road against Indy 11. Portillo gets it wide to Schmidt. Can the Monarchs get a ball inside the box? Portillo gets a return pass. Into Jack Blake, trying to tee him up, but it pushes him wide. Chang was running towards him. Jack Blake's cramped pretty heavily, you can see. He's struggling. Arriaga's got to keep moving with those fresh legs. 114th minutes. Schmidt tries to get it into his teammates, but it's cut out. Jack Blake out wide to Noah Powder. Powder runs at the defense, goes towards the touchline, trying to get it across the 6, but unable to do so as it goes right into Logan Ketterer. And now you can see Michael Chang cramping.
But I like the idea from Noah Powder. Go at these defenders right now. They're very tired. They don't have the legs to make those little movements right now. So keep going at them, because they're going to be scared if you keep doing that.
Holtz dispossesses Salgado, who's done a good job keeping possession for the most part. Arriaga, he'll stand over this one. 115th minutes here at Zions Bank Stadium, all level. Here in the Western Conference Final. So we're playing for silverware. Western Conference Championship trophy, sitting down near the 4th official. Ball played inside the box. Fox heads it away. Jack Blake was lining up for a second. Portillo to Jack Blake. Blake to Arriaga. Wide to Schmidt. Schmidt puts it in the box. Dangerous. It meant to be a cross a little deeper as Ketter's going to go down and hold the ball.
Ketterer must be cramping also.
Ketterer will kill off a second longer as we inch ever closer to this stoppage time.
You can tell there's just nothing left in El Paso right now. They are doing everything they can to get the penalty kicks.
Powder, 116th minutes. Noah Powder can't get around Yuma. Salgado's going to win another free kick. And Holt's going to see his first yellow. As fans are not happy to see players down on the pitch and a little bit more time wasted. Penalty kicks looming here. As on the opposite side of the bracket, it looks like Louisville City is going to get a chance to defend their USL championship from 2018. As Yuma's down on the pitch getting some treatments. Looks like he's cramping, his left quad. As Yuma's going to come off the pitch. There's frustration. Looks like we're going to have a substitution. I don't know that was a little bit of confusion.
I'm not sure if this is accidental confusion or if this is confusion on purpose to waste more time, but El Paso's doing a great job at killing this game off.
Alexi Bossetti, the Frenchman's going to come on. 10 appearances, 2 goals, and a free kick coming for El Paso. They'll try to play it forward to Salgado. Holt's going to play it out. It'll be a throw-in coming for El Paso. 118th minutes. The nerves. And David, as a player, you have to start thinking and mentally preparing yourself for penalty kicks, especially if you're one of those attacking players. Your number's probably going to be called on.
But you have to be careful that there's still 3 minutes left in this game plan, and you can't start thinking about these things too early, because we've seen the situation where the Monarchs have lost in the last 30 seconds of a playoff game. So everybody's got to keep that focus on the last 3 minutes here.
Arriaga tried to make the decision to play into space, but in a game like this, legs are tired. He's the only one with fresh legs in the attack for the Monarchs. 118th minute. Ambitious opportunity there as Ochoa knows where his goal is, keeps it in front of him, and he'll reset quickly. 119th minutes. So we inch closer to that 120th. Into the looming penalty kicks. Can one of the two sides find the game winner? Tate Schmidt plays it in and cleared away by McKenzie. And a corner kick coming for the Monarchs. Throw some numbers forward if you're the Monarchs.
Also, if you're the Monarchs, whoever you have back, you have to make sure that they are not cramping, because if El Paso does counterattack here, you have to have the legs to stop it.
Crowd on their feet here at Zions Bank Stadium. Noah Powder stands over the corner kick. Ball played inside the box. Towards goal, and the Monarchs score! Mayhem here at Zions Bank Stadium. My, oh my. What just happened? 119th minutes, and the Monarchs find the back of the nets. The crowd was on their feet. Everybody screaming, cheering, and that somehow got its way past Logan Ketterer, as you're gonna see a replay look at this one. As Eric Holt is the goal scorer.
The young center back just gets enough of that corner, and it loops into the back post, and Ketterer could not get there in time. But what a day for center backs to score.
Monarchs, 2 of the 3 center backs putting goals in the nets. Both goals courtesy of the center backs, and we talked about this game being defensive in the first half, but the defenders are providing the offense. There's still some time to kill off. As stoppage has been announced, there will be 3 minutes of stoppage time here at Zions Bank Stadium. Everybody on their feet. And El Paso has to throw things forward. But you can't give up now, because we've seen games where the Monarchs have given up late goals.
And the Monarchs, they have to keep their focus here. Whatever it takes for 3 minutes, you find it.
And Toko heads it to the corner. Tate Schmidt in a battle with Fox. It'll be a throw-in for the Monarchs. Tate Schmidt will throw it in. 121 minutes of soccer have been played. Monarchs lead 2-1 as they're trying to punch their ticket to the to the USL Championship final. See if they can derail El Paso. Salgado, settle, shot. It's just outside the area. Velasquez, up and over. This man alive, Sebastian Velasquez, had an opportunity, just could not keep it on frame. Hey! 2-1 Monarchs. Ochoa, as we're unofficially through 2 of the 3. Becky tries to head it forward. Monarchs have numbers if they can take it to the corner. Tate Schmidt there. He keeps possession. Play it forward to Chang. As Tate Schmidt was taken out, advantage could have been played, but the foul called. This will waste a little bit more time off the clock. Monarchs trying to punch that elusive ticket for the first time to the USL Championship final to face Louisville. As it looks like that will be the opponent as they're up 3-1 in the 122nd as that one's in stoppage.
Douglas Martinez has to keep his head here, because if he gets a red card,
pull everybody away as this one's getting wild. This is where you hate. Be smart, keep your head.
You don't blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Blow the whistle.
A little bit of battle in the corner. And you'd hate to see a player be thrown out because of something like this. Players coming into Douglas Martinez. Our ref restores calm as the whistle quickly taken from El Paso as they're going to try to lob this one forward. And Toko, Holt, Jack Blake, he'll play it high. 124th minute. And that's the final whistle. And the Monarchs are Western Conference champions. And are moving on to the USL Championship final. And heartbreak for El Paso as they fall 2-1 in extra time. But what a season they had.
Congratulations to Hamas and Olave and Matt Glazer for everything they have been through the last 2 years. If there's any coaches that deserve this trip to a final, it is those two.
Salgado heading over to the celebrating Monarchs. As there's just chaos erupting on the pitch.
El Paso just needs to leave the field. Have some sportsmanship. There's no need for this. You had a hard-fought game. You gave it everything you have. Just leave the field with some dignity.
Omar Salgado still jawing with the crowd, but do not take that away. The Monarchs leave Zions Bank Stadium with a 2-1 victory. as celebrations still happening on the pitch. We'll have a trophy ceremony here in a few. But what a moment for this Monarchs side to win a USL conference or Western Conference championship at home.
Congratulations to these guys, because this is an unbelievable moment. But congratulations to RSL as an organization for what they are trying to do here, and it is working.
And you have to give credit to this El Paso side. Mark Lowry had this side, an expansion side, makes it all the way to the Western Conference Finals and gives it their all. Even a man down, plays up to 119 minutes, just giving up a late goal.
And that's what I am saying. You put in an unbelievable effort today. That is I mean, you cannot question that at all. Be proud of yourselves for that.
15, 10, and 11. 15, 11, and 11, excuse me, to end the season. As Kalen Ride pumping his fist to the crowd. The goal scorer, Kalen Ryden. He put one in the 48th minute. So they're gonna get the trophy all set, players set. We have to talk really about some of the phenomenal play by this Monarch side. Some of the guys that just gave it their all tonight. Guys like Kalen Ryden, guys like Eric Holtz, they battled all night long with Omar Salgado, and he deserves credit. He was holding up play nicely up top, but the Monarchs got the best of this match.
And really, you gotta give kudos to Kalen Ryden, because it was not an easy night for that back line, and you do not expect your center backs to score, but Kalen Ryden, Johnny on the spot in the box with a great finish. So really, kudos to Kalen Ryden for leading that back line tonight and really this whole season, because he has provided that veteran leadership for Conrad Plua, Eric Holt, Tate Schmidt, and Noah Powder. All these guys are young players, and Kalen Ryden has been that constant leader throughout this whole season.
Orders restored on the pitch. We've got players hugging and enjoying their moments. Here's now the challenge, David. Now you have a week. Sunday nights, 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time. USL Championship Final.
Really, you enjoy this moment right now, Landon, and you go home and you start preparing for that game. You get the legs up, you get a massage, you get whatever you need, whatever it takes to get your body right, you do it this week. And with the resources that RSL has as an organization, they will make sure that this team is ready to go.
Let's check out the goals for this match, because there was only 3, but man, were they all exciting. And really, this game had a little bit of everything. As you see the first goal by El Paso.
And ball bouncing around in the box. The Monarchs are not able to clear it. And a center back for El Paso is the one that's on the spot, and he has a great finish. Almost identical to the goal that the Monarchs scored later in the game. As we see here, ball bounces around, falls to the center back for the Monarchs. Great finish in the exact same area of the goal as El Paso.
So you're gonna see a replay look at that one. You gotta love the finish, and Ryden knew that was going eyes for gold. So you're gonna see the final one, is it just kind of snuck in. It was one of those that was almost awkwardly looping is the word you used, but it kind of looped up and in past Logan Ketterer.
And that's all you need sometimes, is just that little touch on the ball and redirect it, and has enough pace just to get past Ketterer.
They're quickly getting the stage adjusted. But what a night, what an afternoon for the 5,000 on hand here at Zions Bank Stadium, and what a finish. 30 minutes of extra soccer really almost wasn't enough.
They got their money's worth tonight.
Monarchs players out there rocking their Western Conference Championship shirts, and everybody kind of still trying to remember and figure out what's going on. And a lot of joy with these guys is I mean, you know, for some, this is the first time in their careers they've had a chance to win hardware.
I mean, and just talk about upheaval that this team has had this year between coaches leaving, players leaving, and these guys have kept their heads all season long. They've kept that singular focus, which is to get to the USL Championship. And I mean, really, kudos to this team and kudos to that veteran leadership that they have.
And you know, something we have to talk about is the leadership of James Olave. Takes over midway through the season, figures out how to make some adjustments, and then the team got on a late run. They took down some of the best teams in the USL Championship and just kind of got moving. And 2 times, not once, but twice, did they take down Phoenix at Phoenix, who was the best team in the USL Western Conference.
And really the great thing that James Olave did is that he put his stamp on this team. He changed the formation depending on what the game situation was. And really he found something in this 5-3-2, which we had never seen before from another coach with Real Monarchs. And he has made it work, and it has worked extremely well.
And you have to wonder where that came about. He coached under Mark Briggs, coached under Martin Vasquez, both very great soccer minds, some of the best around. And now he's getting to leave his stamp on the game, especially here for the Monarchs. He's a former MLS center back, all-star at bats, one of the best, really, that MLS had ever seen. And now he's figuring out how to get these guys to give it their all. His center backs tonight were phenomenal.
Yes, and it's not about, he has imprinted his tactics on this team, but also he has gotten a lot out of these players, because you think about this is a very young team that has had Martin Vasquez as a coach for a long time in the academy. He was able to get those guys to buy into what he was doing, and it has really worked.
And a few of these guys, we don't talk about guys like Luke Mulholland, a guy that maybe was cast away by Real Salt Lake, mostly because of injury, but really was never able to find himself in form, but came here, played with the Monarchs, 10-plus games, and really has been integral in this postseason playoff magic they've been having.
Yeah, and really when guys come down to play with this team, sometimes they might take it badly and not play as hard as they would, but Luke Mulholland, the constant professional, he has stepped up every single time that he has been called upon by this Monarchs team, and he is a big reason. He has provided that leadership, and he has provided that ability that they needed on the field to calm players down, and really he is a big reason that they have gotten to this point.
Let's also talk about the play of David Ochoa. David Ochoa, 18 years old, the youngest goalie in the USL Championship, started at 17, a U.S. Youth International, but a guy that had opportunities to maybe go play in foreign leagues. I know we saw it from a few former RSL Academy players with Bayern Munich over in the Dutch league, players that have moved around. David Ochoa chose to stay home with the home side and has really had an impact on this season for the Monarchs, coming up big time in and time again.
Well, I think that goes back to what we have talked about all year long with what RSL is doing as an organization, and David Ochoa has bought into that vision, and he sees a pathway forward for himself, and it was up to him to prove himself. And he went out there this season, and he has definitely proven himself that he can be a #1 goalie for this organization.
And there's opportunities for him, not just with this side, but Nick Raimondo having retired with Real Salt Lake. Now you have to wonder, Andrew Putna, David Ochoa, who's going to get that nod at the start of the season? But you have to think this squad with the Monarchs, the opportunities they've had, have really prepared them or given them the opportunity to get minutes, because if not, they're just sitting around and not getting opportunities to play. They're sitting in the 18, not really doing a whole ton. But with the USL Championship, the league that it is, it's really giving those players opportunities to develop and have success.
And that is what young players need in America. They need that opportunity to play in pressure situations where they can develop so that when they are called upon to a first team for the MLS, they're ready.
2019 USL Western Conference champions. So we're going to get the trophy handed off here in a second. Deloy Hansen off to the right side, just out of picture. So Wasatch Legion, the supporter group down there, holding the banner up in front of the stage. Monarchs waiting for that trophy to be passed over to the captain. Jack Blake making his way to the center of the pitch. Pitcher time for the boys.
To present the trophy to your
as the trophy will be presented.
Western Conference champions, your Real
You can hear a little bit of that on the PA system. An official from the USL Championship is going to hand off the trophy to our captain, Jack Blake. He's going to make his way up onto the stage with the owner of Real Salt Lake, Real Monarchs, and the Utah Royals, Deloy Hansen. Slide all the way to the middle. And Jack Blake is going to raise the trophy for the Monarchs. Hand it over to Deloy Hansen, who's going to grab it first. Let's take a quick picture. Deloy Hansen's going to raise the trophy. Monarchs are your 2019 USL Western Conference champions. So they're going to repeat this process one more time as Jack Blake's going to raise it. And the Monarchs are going to celebrate. Celebrations here at Zions Bank Stadium.
What an unbelievable moment for these players. This is not something that happens to every player. This is what every player dreams of, and it is happening to these young men right now, and no one deserves it more than them.
As the guys are going to continue to celebrate. And David, I know you've won some hardware in your career. How does that feel? How does that feel to stand on a stage? And I know this is not done, because one thing people often point out, this is not the final goal. This is a nice piece, a nice opportunity, a chance to celebrate, enjoy what you've done through the season, but this is not the final step.
And that's why I'm saying enjoy this moment right now. But as soon as you get off that stage, you go back to the locker room and shower, you start preparing for that championship game, because that is what it's all about. It's not about conference championships. It's not about regular season championships. It is about league championships. And this team has the opportunity to play for a league championship, and it is going to be an unbelievable game next weekend.
And you know, in 2015, 2016, this Monarchs side, a lot of people would have thought, there's no way this day will ever come. There's no way this team will ever have a chance to play in a USL Championship final. But today is the day. And a week from tomorrow, the Monarchs will be playing in Louisville in the in the USL Championship final.
And you look at the man on the stage right now, Deloy Hansen. He built the most unbelievable soccer complex in America. He had a vision. The people around him had a vision, and it was to build one of the best soccer academies in North America, in the world, and push those players through the Monarchs to the first team. And you are seeing the fruits of his labor right now on the stage.
Monarchs win 2-1 with a goal late in extra time. And they are your 2019 USL Western Conference champions. From our wonderful team making this happen, from all the camera operators, from our producers, everybody back in the booth. David Horse, I'm Landon Southwick, and we'll catch you next week on ESPN2 as the Monarchs will face Louisville in the USL Championship Final. Tonight's match is brought to you by Zions Bank, for banking that always puts the best team on the pitch. Zions Bank is for you. By LifeVantage. Learn how you can take control of your own biology at lifevantage.com.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.